Uta probably will be too, but you know what? At least she won't be as a naughtier bitch. She's a sugar mama that will kind of treat you well sometimes, but also be a dom mommy and slap you up the ass a little bit if you're a bad boy. But this is where I'm just being like straight up dom mommy fucking dominatrix teacher mode, and it's like yo. You know what? Shit, we're gonna have a little too much fun with this too. Fuck. Oh no. Oh shit, this is really about to get a little fun, isn't it? I'll just wait for the algorithm to take hold and do its thing, but shit, dude, fuck, what am I about to do? I'm not taking that much more, but fucking hell. You know what? I'm already this deep in, I might as well. Doggone. Pop up. I got treats for you. Oh. Yeah, I forget how much it tastes like shit sometimes. Oh, this smells so good though. Hey. Papa. Hey, get the fuck away from that. Little turd. I'm goofball. He's such a goofy boy. He's such a goofy boy. I know that much for sure is definitely gonna be good for me because the shit that I got from earlier is still on the rise. So that last little bit is gonna kind of help kind of crescendo that enough. And I don't know what type of fucking noise that was, but that was hilarious. That was indeed hilarious. I will admit. Hashtag we were there for that, bro. That was like a genuine, you had to be there to be there to be there. You know what I mean? You had to be there to see it, be there to witness it, to be there to know it and understand it all. And frankly, there's only three of us four actually, because your girlfriend Shay was, overhearing a lot of it. It was special on your end. Then Rose was there, and then me. Dude, it was legit. You just had to be there, man. Just had to be there. Thank fuck we didn't do like a screencast shit on here and try that or something. Because we know the last few times we did that, it's been stupid. So I'm actually legit kind of glad we didn't do that over here because that probably would have been worse. That would have fucked me worse, honestly. Because, YouTube could be a mean mistress sometimes. When she wants to be a bitch, she will be a bitch. Like, Instagram might be bitchy, but she's at least just going to kind of slap you a little. She's gonna outright like destroy your fiber of your essence and make you wish that you died or something. This raw hell. Okay, now it's not working as intended. Oh, Jesus Christ, fucking hell. Okay, well, there we go. Boom. All right, well, that worked enough, I guess. Our luck, it would have hit both of us with a strike. Yeah, actually, funny enough, yeah, knowing our luck. I guess I know it was probably predominantly what you said because you got hit harder than I did, so I didn't know it wasn't. Well, I think it's just how you went about saying it. I was at least talking in past tense as a story, and also, I was being a little subtle. Yeah, prison bitch shit or whatever, stereotypical jokes and stuff. And also, like, I wasn't overtly saying how I truly feel. You overtly said that, as a, prescription, and then you kind of kept going with it a little bit. So I think that's why they got you more than me. I think it would have been one thing where it would have been like, it just would have been a warning thing, and that's it, like I got. If you didn't, your side of things, didn't go further with it. Because you could have just like, I could say what I want, but I can't write, if you just left it at that, would have been fine. Even if maybe the stream still was, knocked a little. Because all I got was like, oh yeah, it was just removed. And that was it. That's all I got. I didn't get anything else from it. So, well, I think that's, I think that's my warning, I suppose. While you also got a 24-hour warning. Because it wasn't like a literal overt, direct threat of violence, but it was just kind of an implicit, like threat of what ought to, kind of thing, It's the ought, kind of situation. This ought to, like, kind of advocacy. Just get Paul on live. Dude, I stand by my word. So I'm not saying you stand or don't stand by that. I'm just saying, But with Paul, dude, I don't have to get him on here. I could go on his shit. Dude, he literally had a debate with this Omar dork, for a little bit on his stream earlier today. I was actually talking about it on my lunch. And honestly, it was pretty hilarious because this Omar dude that was debating him earlier today is apparently like a 3-time amateur boxer winner. Which, like that, like, dude, I know plenty of wrestlers and shit, in the anarcho pro wrestling scene in Portland. And yeah, a lot of them have way more of a thicker history than your ass. So, and a lot of them are not, necessarily, old geezers either. A lot of them are young bucks too. So I just find it hilarious. It's like, yeah, 1-3 amateur boxing. It's like, dude, I know fucking wrestlers who are like my age or slightly older that have like, 5 wins and 2 losses or some shit like that. Some decent little, fucking, like a decent little record so far, Last time I heard a politician boxer, he was Jeffrey Epstein of Romania. Well, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like, the dude also entertained. Well, you saw it from Romania. He's, from England. He was born in England, raised in America, and then, like, fucking pretended to be, like, some fucking Chad bro, and then fucking fled to Romania because it was easy to get away with the crimes he was doing, but because he was too retarded to keep his mouth shut, the Romanian government cracked down on their shit to be like, nah, you do not fucking boast about this shit because we'll crack down on you because we want to keep this thing going. Like, so they used him as an example, which good, fuck him. But still, it's just like, but yeah, I mean, and also the dude literally like said, oh, you don't care about abortion because you're like a 44-year-old man who's infertile and can't have kids. So why do you care? You don't give a shit. And Paul literally just bursted out laughing like, you want to say more about that, you little soy boy bitch kind of shit? Like, they were just like, at that point, like, they were just going off on each other. It was hilarious. Dude, oh my god, you all gotta check it out. It was he did stream later tonight, so there was that, but it's this morning stream that he did earlier today, and oh my god, bro, dude, like a good hour of that is just hilarious. It's just amazing, dude. Because also, Venom, remember you're saying that there are some people that legit think Paul's divorced again and also shit, and it's so detached from reality. This guy is that motherfucker, bro. He's that motherfucker. He's one of those motherfuckers. You support Trump, you racist, support Kamala, you support genocide. Or, hey, if you support one and the other, thus you want the other side to lose and this and that. Or, hey, if you support third parties, thus you want one side or the other to win, depending on where my prescriptions lie politically. Dude, I just say it. I really do hate it. I get frustrated, honestly, on like many sides of the spectrum about this, honestly, because the political football is just so retarded. I'm just so done with it. I hate it. Lost my respect, to be honest. Honestly, I don't get what the fuck, like is going on with like, people going out on her. Like, I didn't, like, because it seems like a lot of people that tend to go after her and shit don't really exactly got much credibility themselves anymore. Like Cornel West, he's lost a lot of credibility. He's lost my respect. If fucking, AOC, want to be like, oh, well, you're part of third party and want to try to get votes, but, you don't have any in the first place, so you obviously are not successful in this type of stuff, so step aside, bitch. Doing some weird shit. She won't call Putin a war criminal, but spending her time on dunking Dems instead of Republicans. I mean, was she critically asked this question at some point? I'm assuming that maybe it was an interview she did recently, and I just don't know about it. So I'm maybe there was a question about this. Yes. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then that is some weird shit. I don't like that either, and that is legit kind of some respect loss shit. Because, like, regardless of what, maybe she might try to swing it. It's like, he's a war criminal. He's a fucking autocratic fascist dictator in his own right. Just call a spade a spade. It's like you can agree or disagree or think one way or the other about the complexities of the Ukraine war, if that is kind of the linchpin about being like, well, or whatever, because she might have like reservations about that. But if that's the case, then honestly, there is kind of some questions about that with this whole recent DOJ thing of like the tenant media and shit like that, and like with these people literally being kind of bought and owned by Russian handlers to say certain shit. That does honestly kind of lead to a lot of credibility on her to be like, whoa. So if that really is the case, then there's not, like, even the more nominal leftist, candidates these days is either like, Cornel is like frankly, honestly, kind of like too much of a narcissist, and the one to work together with other people, or like, someone like Jill Stein, who may or may not legit be kind of a Russian asset. Like, I hope not. Maybe it's like the party or the campaigners, that are affiliated with her, trying to like spin that she's just too gullible to realize that, or what? Like, because I mean, she also talks about like, trying to build like broader class solidarity as well and shit like that. So she's not like stupid on that front, but maybe there's a gullibility to that to where, she's, I don't know. Like, I'm hoping that she's just too gullible for her own good on that front. But if not, bruh, she's got some fucking answers. There's questions she needs to fucking answer for. Hilarious how Temple turned out to be a Russian shill. Oh, I'm not really too surprised. I say that's a good point when it's the last time Green Candidate won. My rebuttal is, when's the last time this two-party system has allowed a third party to, bolster itself to the point where it can actually get some baseline funding to actually be worth, a fuck a little bit in this country. So maybe it can have like, a little leverage to be able to swing in, for a victory in one of these states, whether county-wise or otherwise. I mean, it's like our fucking two-party system doesn't exactly do any favors for third parties when, they can't even get their fucking foot in the door. And when people do try to commit to that and try to fucking, maybe honestly, go radical and be loud as fuck about it, and granted, get news coverage, like Cornel or Jill Stein, agree or disagree of how that is done at the end of the day. They're still doing that shit. And to an extent, there's importance to that, but that's all they kind of can do. If they don't have the money or the influence politically, then use the, influence, media and socially. I don't know about to what's wrong with him. Well, he kind of made, this whole, like, there's kind of like some weird insight about like his departure from the Green Party initially to where he became an independent because Jill Stein wanted to be the nominee and he wanted to be and make him the vice president, candidate for Jill Stein. So it'll be it'll be like Jill Stein Cornel West candidacy, which honestly I think that'd be kind of badass. I would have been fine with that personally. If I was in his shoes, I would have taken that. I'd be like, yeah, you and I are very influential voices, in leftist politics broadly. Let's put our names together. Let's build that kind of cross solidarity kind of shit. But he was like, oh, this white woman, say she's above me. Like, he kind of took it personally and thought it was like meant to be a sly against him and said, well, this is just white racist politics in the system, just running amok against me kind of shit. He kind of really legit made it some weird personal narcissistical like shit because I think he was done dirty by a few like local chapters of the Green Party that legit just do not give a fuck about social issues. If anything, eschew them, which are definitely some local chapters of the Green Party, that I'm guarantee you probably are like that. They're like, oh, green economics, green stuff, fuck everything else, and we're not even going to talk about that, shut up about it. I guarantee you there are chapters of different people like that, 100%. I ain't even going to dog on that. But I think he took all that type of shit very fucking personally and just makes it an absolute and says, oh, fuck all of them because they're all like this. And it's like, no, they're not, brother. Like, I love you, man. Because Cornel, I respect the fuck out of him. But, like, dude, you're, I think, honestly, legit wrong. And you're taking this personally, bro. And that's where I lost respect from him. I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck is this? Like, I get maybe, Stein at the end of the day is kind of wrong. Maybe she should have been the VP choice and you're the fucking, nominee. However, it got worked out. That could have been worked out. And she was even open. Like, she said that, with an interview with George Sheridan saying, like, I was open to genuinely, like, working whatever, agreement out that he wanted to, have preferably. I'm not against that. Blah, blah, blah. Like, she was okay with it. And at this point, it's like, and they kind of, in a weird way, kind of both lost respect because it's just like he says, she said bullshit kind of shit, with each other. It's like, man, can we just like not make it about that? Especially like, with Cornel starting it for some, maybe for genuine personal reasons. And granted, a lot of them I won't even really probably disagree with. But like, don't make it an absolute. Only Sith steal in absolutes. If you want to be like a fucking autistic Star Trek nerd or Star Wars nerd about it, oh Jesus Christ! I mean, speaking of autism, that's about to unleash a war right there with that accidental moment. Do or do not. There is no try. Stargate SG-1, Lieutenant Spock. Age limit on present because everyone is ancient. I ain't gonna disagree with that. If we're gonna have a limit on like the minimal age, like 25 for Congress, and I think it's like 30 for Senate, and then 35 years for the president, then we need a max age. And honestly, we could lower the fucking minimum age, when it comes to that shit. Like, here's what the minimum age should be. You know what? 25 across the board. Across the board. As an adult, you need to live a little. Let that leeway period, be that time where you live a little. But once you kind of, matured enough as an adult at that age of 25, then yeah, go ahead. Run for politics or something. But use that time to kind of learn, live, and build a little. Whether it's a blue collar kind of guy going out of college, whatever the fuck. I mean, doesn't matter. But at least, let it just be 25 across the board. I think that'd be fine. Or just like, the age when you become an adult, but honestly, I think 25 is preferable because you get that, like, at least a little time to where you kind of live a little and you have to work other jobs and kind of be on the ground, so to speak, or at least in college and talk with people. There's a period where you have to, like, be a person for a little bit. Unless you're just a rich fuck yuppie, and you get, spoon-fed in your fucking mouth. Say 30, but that just make a semantics thing. Yeah, I mean, that's just semantics. The current minimum is 25. Well, I mean, if to run for Congress and the Senate, or I think at least for the House is 25, just make that across the board, just 25. Because from what I understand, for city council, countywide and shit like that, I think it's on the state level where the laws are about that shit. And at least in Oregon, from what I understand, I mean, you could be technically 18 to run for office, depending on what county you're in. But even then, I think a federal standard of 25 is just simple. Just make it, what the minimum of Congress is. If it's 25, just boom. Just make it all of it that. I think it's pretty simple. Rounds it all out. You get some young bucks who can maybe, got a lot of chutzpah, got a lot of influence, maybe are kind of like an early rising star in like a party or some shit. It gives them, there could be, I think, some good opportunities for shit like that. I don't know if I saw in the Insta chat, but can we have a no tolerance rule for people who suspect being bots to start spurging in chat? Jesus Christ, I thought I got bad before the long messages. I didn't know the fuck. Dude, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, bro, because I was really trying to figure that out myself, man. Cause, dude, I think a day or two ago, I also had someone who was definitely not 18 at minimal. And he kind of popped that off a little bit. I'm like, dude, you didn't say that for a while. Keep that on a deal because you're a little skibbity, but you're chill enough. Shut up. And I was kind of telling him that, and then Colby happened to be there, and he was like, it just instantly banned him. And I was like, well, don't do that. But if he mentions that again or really gets bad, then sure, but he's been chill. That little dude was kind of chill so far. So as long as he's mature enough, I think we can kind of keep him around a little bit. I'm just hoping he's about to be 18 and it's 17 in 8 months or 9 months or whatever. I won't lie, I was tempted. Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. Dude, even for me, because he honestly, with the AI botted bullshit that I kind of was suspecting of, there's some right-wing bullshit with that dude, bro. I kind of want to either go heavily on the AI shit or heavily on is this guy some weird right-winger that wants to just be a racist fuck? Because I want to do a little bit of both. I think I am going to next time it pops in here, because I guarantee you that is a bot. I'm 90% sure now at this point. Because unless someone is legitimately an actual AI, would eventually be more positive to talk with. I know, honestly, for real, dude. But I don't know, man. The fact that that dude or bot, whatever, lynched on the whole schizophrenic topic of that stream the entire fucking time, even though we moved on from 8,000 topics, was really driving me nuts. Unless someone was just so, not to be mean, but unless someone was severely autistic as fuck about it or some shit, I don't know how in the fuck anyone would hang on something like that, for that long. Was a cry for help? Maybe? I don't know, dude. That's the fucking thing. I don't fucking know, bro. And also, I know, these right-wing freaks, are kind of into AI and shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if, some of these right-wing companies are kind of playing around with AI and shit. It'd be hey, spout right-wing bullshit a little bit here and there. But, blah, 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 blah. Kind of gauge what people feel about, when you do these prompts. And I think if they get fucked on a little bit enough with shit like that, they start kind of revealing themselves a little. I think that's what's going on. I think these AI bots are getting fucked a little bit. At least the one that is attached to myself, or attached itself to me, is definitely doing that. Musk's AI. Mate, Grok. It probably is, dude. It's probably some variation of Grok or something. I wouldn't be surprised. The only more right-wing leaning AI that I could think of would be Grok, unless Jeremy Boring or one of these other big right-wing companies is doing something with that. I mean, I would not be surprised, bro. It probably is some sort of variation of Grok or something like that. Maybe like a licensed version, or maybe like a prototype right-wing AI to try to like collaborate how people react to certain prompts of like, do you think this movie by Matt Walsh is great? Am I a racist? Because that is a recent thing. So I don't know, man. You know, it's like I think these type of things are meant to try to gauge a reaction. So maybe it could try to prompt these things in a way that don't necessarily like cause the most negative reaction or some shit. Or just, I don't know. I mean, that's my guess. How to dog whistle right-wing bullshit, you know, as quietly as possible and get people into that type of stuff, you know, at least, you know, if they don't know about it. We obviously do, so it wouldn't be able to swing us unless it was genuinely very fucking clever about it for a little bit. But we would be able to gauge it after a while. Because honestly, for people, like right-wing people, like there are conservatives and Republican leanings and right-wing people here that will like actually show up, like there are human beings, and they are way more smarter than like some bots or like that Lehman bot guy, you know? It's like they're way more smarter because they don't specifically clinch on one point. If anything, they actually want to go after your appearance more often than not. You look like a dirty hippie and this and that. Oh, of course, a dirty hippie Democrat commie, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, like they go after shit like that, you know? You can kind of honestly realize and understand where, you know, like human being right-wing conservatives, you know, kind of lie versus like these weird bots that are starting to prop up. Because you're right, man. Dude, these bots are really starting to be a thing. They've already been a thing for a long time, you know, with these like bot, you know, comments, you know, and various things, you know, and shit for a while. But in live chats, that's new. That's a newer thing. And it's like, we're kind of, I think, on the leading edge of that right now, dude. We're starting to see the early edges of what that fucking shit looks like. And that is fucking freaky, honestly. Like, oh man, like on the AI side of things, that right there is fucking freaky. Like, that's some freaky shit. Because, like, I mean, AI is a tool, I think it'd be cool. Hey, that kind of rhymes. AI is a tool, think it'd be cool. But at least in this realm, this is where the regulation needs to be, you know, put in place because, like, it should be used as a means of production. You know, it shouldn't be used as like some nefarious like espionage or like data collecting and shit like that. It should be used as a means of production of like, you know, workers into people and, you know, the companies that, you know, like are producing these fucking things in production. And of course, when I'm saying means of production, you can kind of imply where I'm going with that, right? Like, so, I mean, regardless of like how the, you know, the means are, whatever those means of production are, and that includes AI, the fucking workers own those fucking means, and we should use those, you know, tools and, you know, and those things, you know, for ourselves, you know, when it comes to our production, especially on a creative level. Regulation. Clearly, you didn't see the being sitting on Discord. Oh, no, I did. I must. Oh, also, big boy, I must protect all of my companies. Get your hands off my free market. Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Oh, shit, this is fucking clogged. God damn it. I don't want this being clogged right now. No. Makes me sad. I don't know. I'm kind of laughing right now. I think, honestly, I'm just starting to realize that the realm, the kingdom has, like, truly, I think, kind of arrived a little bit there for a minute. But that's okay. Had just a momentary lapse. Oh, Doggo such a sleepy boy. Just looks like a sleepy little ball. Good chance to read my last story. I have it on my tabs, like on my fucking thing, but I didn't get a chance to read it yet. Between like the rafting and then, you know, like last second going to that concert and work today, I just haven't had a chance quite yet. I was wanting to maybe like later tonight or tomorrow at some point, you know, get a chance to read it. Tonight would probably be a good idea, you know, just listen to a little, read it while rafting. Well, I ain't thinking about doing that while I'm rafting, and honestly, just the rafting that we did Monday, you know, that isn't exactly a real option. There are some quiet, chill moments in between everything, but like, you kind of have like, you know, if you zone out for a minute, you will realize, oh, there's rafts over there. I need to make sure I'm on this side of the river or that side of the river, and start prepping how I'm gonna angle this and get myself through this. You know, it's like. You gotta really kind of, you know, be on your tippy toes a little bit. You gotta have like something, you know, in the background and just let it, you know, be loud and just chill. You know, it's like it had to be like an audiobook situation if I was actually gonna like read it at that point. I mean, if it was like the Willamette, you know, we're like, all right, we're going like to OC, you know, where, you know, we definitely couldn't raft across or whatever the fuck because of like, you know, the old I think there's like a little mini hydro dam there, but used to also have some shit there because of the Blue Heron Paper Company mill that used to be there until it fucking closed down years and years ago. I go not Splunk, but urban exploring over there a lot. Or at least it used to. I don't know if there's honestly anything left now at this point. I'm pretty sure most of that shit's taken down now. Which would be kind of sad because, like, I loved doing urban exploration. Like, that shit is so fucking fun. It's so cool. And that was, like, my spot, like, to go urban exploring with my friends and shit. Because seeing, like, an old railroad paper mill and shit, dude, it's kind of a vibe, dude. And my vivid imaginary ass, you know, was, like, thinking, like, man, imagine the 30s or the 40s where you had, like, you know, workers working this fucking shit. Filled, you know, doing their thing, you know, like all that shit. It's kind of cool. Just kind of like, you know, exploring these little spots. And I know there's a lot of different places in Oregon to find that shit, but I mean, the fuck thing is, like, it's either word of mouth or you just have to be lucky to maybe just stumble upon it or something. Because as soon as they're like known by people and it spreads enough to where it's like you got like a little article about like, you know, cool urban places to explore and shit like that. Once it gets to that point, then you got a lot of fucking people who are just gonna ruin it, you know, and then it's, you know, the city or the state is gonna get involved a little bit, and that's that. I mean, the whole point of being these places, so it's a little recluse. That's the point. So it's kind of hard to find these places, you know, especially around here because it's like we're in a valley. You got Portland too. Like a lot of the more abandoned areas around here also are next to places that are. And, you know, Portland, sometimes there might legit be some homeless people in those places. So that's why that, you know, Blue Heron Paper Mill was so awesome because that's in Oregon City. That's way the fuck out there. There ain't no one being over there. There's like, and they also usually had private security over there still. And as long as you were smart, you know where to go. They ain't gonna go near where you're at. They only had a certain patrol they were doing. I knew that shit by heart at a certain point. I knew what time of night, you know, they happened to be doing their little rounds really quick and shit. And as long as they didn't have any lights on in any of the particular buildings where they definitely would have eyesight on, when you overheard them, as long as you kind of kept your ear out for that shit, you'd be fine. They ain't gonna fucking know you're there. I know I have some customizable text-to-speech as male Australian comes to the closest sound natural to me. Oh, the good old male Australian. Got a good old Aussie, I tell you what I'm on. Not myself, but if you get a good one, yeah, that'd be fun. Man, I wonder if there's like another like abandoned factory somewhere nearby that I can go to, because I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I kind of want to go, urban exploring. I've been kind of feeling that itch too recently. Because, like I said, I love doing it. It's fun. Like, I always loved kind of like just being like kind of quiet and almost kind of doing like, those like kind of stealth recon style things and checking places out. And also seeing like what a lot of, remnants of what people left over for like graffiti and shit like that. It's always kind of cool. I mean, there's always, a lot of shit to look out for. And at least for me, I would say I have at least 3 for sure, at least because Portland, homeless people for sure. The second thing is random debris, whether glass, fallen, like walls that have tipped over and shit, things that make noise that you might step on, like plywood on the ground, random shit. Like, look where the second rule, look where you're stepping. Like see where you're stepping, to make the most minimal amount of noise, but also so I don't accidentally step on something where you fall through a floor or you trip something by accident and something pops up at it, whatever the fuck, right? Watch where you're stepping. And for 3, security, and for 4, basically just any other hazards, miscellaneous hazards, wildlife, fucking. Yeah, it's just random shit, like maybe a sign that says radioactive or biohazard, don't go further kind of shit. There's a lot of things to kind of keep an eye out for sure. But those big 3, dude, homeless / tweakers and shit like that, people that might have a little camp or something that, are using, places like that. Second, watch where you step. That includes maybe like a needle on the ground to glass to whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. Or maybe shoddy flooring if you're on the second floor or something where you might pop through, and all that shit. And then 3, basically just like security, and if anyone happens to still be patrolling the area, and just kind of keep mindful about that and keep your ear up, and also watch for cameras too if there happens to potentially be any. And even if you happen to be spotted a little bit, I mean, chances are if you never go back there, it's never going to be followed up again. And even if they do, they're probably just going to kind of keep an eye out about a certain particular pattern, that you got. So just go there for shit. If it's just literally like a hoodie and that's it, or whatever the fuck, just all black and you got a hoodie, then it's going to be hard to identify anyway. So they're not even going to know it's actually you if you go there a second time anyway. They just will probably be more on high alert. So if it's like a one-time thing, you don't really got to worry about that. But if you want to go check it out more times than not because you want to like maybe see some other spots that you couldn't get a chance because of whatever reason, then it's one of those things where you want to at least keep in mind about. Which also I think kind of sucks because a lot of this like abandoned shit that does exist out there I think is so cool to explore because it's like legit just remnants of what like humanity's left over and stuff, Like I always find that to be so cool to explore. I guess that's why they got museums, but that doesn't have the same adventure and fun involved. That's the problem. Museums are cool, learn shit, but it's not the same adventure. I want some adventure with my shit, dude. I get to kind of like learn the history a little down the line by going to the museums and be like, oh, that's what the whole is about. But I want to explore that shit and be like, ooh, what's this? Just be like in awe. I will say the one thing I will never do is spelunking. I want to explore mines, I will admit that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hold to that word because, dude, that shit is genuinely fucking deadly dangerous. Like, I will not fuck with that at all. I'll see, like, an entrance of a mine. I'm like, unless that is, like, something that tourists are allowed to go through, fuck that. Because I am not going through it. Because more often than not, like, chances are you're probably not coming out of that fucking thing. I don't trust that shit. I know shit's been there dormant since like 1884 or whatever, but I ain't trust that shit, bro. I saw that one RWJ video on the guy got stuck in a cave. No thanks. Dude, there's a lot of stories about people who are stuck in caves. Like, no. And those are just caves. That's just cave exploration. I'm talking like abandoned mines, where it's like cave systems where they find a bunch of shit, hauled out, blah, blah, blah. You know, the whole nine, right? The whole nine on the mine. But it's been abandoned forever. It's like, and you got all that shit just chilling. It's like, no. I'm not looking to be like fungi worm food that deep underground. And not soon. I know, maybe the fungi's trying to persuade me and say, no, it's fun. But, I might be in the Mushroom Kingdom, but I ain't going fucking, delving that deep into this territory. Not now, nor in the future. Keep your root to the ground or the sea. Maybe the air, too. Oh. Boop, boop, boop. So I don't know what's interesting about caves is to get lost. It's what's waiting in them. Yeah. You got fucking bitches like, fuck bears, cougars, shit like that. Maybe a pack of coyotes. I ain't trying to fuck with that. Dude. Hell no. I ain't trying to fuck with that. I ain't not to fuck with that shit. Because chances are I definitely ain't got protection on me, and if I gotta deal with that shit, I'm just, hey, free dinner just arrived at our cave. Awesome. That's how they're gonna be fucking feeling, and I'm just like, oh, hell no. I ain't gonna be your fucking dinner, midnight snack, and breakfast. No, sir. No, ma'am, and no, sir. The Eldritch Abomination sealed by stone runes, but yes, bears too. Well, don't get me thinking about that right now. Don't get me down that path right now. Okay? No. Don't do that to me. Oh my lord, because dude, I would be freaked the fuck out. I would freak the fuck out if some shit like that, dude. I would die. I also would just die of like, one of my heart's blood vessels just like, or just like an aneurysm in the brain where it's like, it's like, dude, I just die, dude. Till bed nightmare I had the other night. Fuck. No. A nightmare? Oh shit. It is the spooky season. Oh no! Oh no! Speaking of spooky though, you know what? Actually, hold up. I don't think I've shown the tooth shirt yet of Testament, which I'm so glad I actually finally said. Dude, doesn't this remind you of some like N64 like fucking video game cartridge of like some badass video game or something like that? And also, does it look like the back of like some 1980s like horror sci-fi like fantasy shit where it's like you got some evil demon like skull god, consuming earth and shit? And this would be like the back of the VCR tape. It's just like, bruh, dude, such an epic shirt. Anyway, but I also had to take a piss real quick, so I'm using this opportunity for that. Wait, hold on. Ugh. This very Star Fox-esque. Oh, dude, you're so right. It does actually kind of have that look. Honestly, one that was sold to me on it is because there was another tour shirt that kind of looked like this one that Testament had. It was basically this, but instead of Creator on the front, it had Testament, and I think the demons, on side by side were flipped, but in the back of them were pretty much the exact same outside of, the band name being different. So I want to at least change it a little bit, and get this bad boy. Because it also got the tour dates on the back too. But I was kind of debating on one, on either or, and I was like, you know what? there's this guy that was next to me. He's like, dude, that reminds me of some badass like fucking DVD, like cover or something. That looks awesome. Looks like a video game cover, to a badass game on like N64 and shit too. So you know what? That's mine. I want that. I want that like a 3XL, bro. And he was like this big Nordic beer gut boy, just there looking like, like from Suicidal Tendencies, but it could be like, fucking drummer for them or some shit. Just like all like got like this war paint on his fucking face shit. Dude, it was kind of badass. It was kind of cool, dude. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking his opinion and looking at that shit. I'm like, yeah, that's mine too. I do, because, I mean, I at least have a little variety on that shit. Pogo, you gonna follow me? Or are you just gonna sit there and look like a gork? A gork? A dork. Okay, you're just looking like a bullet. Whatever. Be a dork then. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Come here. Come on, dog. Down here. You know what? Get out there. Come here. Ooh. Ooh. Traversing Mushroom Kingdom, and you're gonna join me. What the fuck? Oh, dude, Sukab knocked it over when you knocked it over when I fucking left. Oh, you're a piece of shit, dude. Ugh. Hold on. I'm holding on to him now, so I'm just like, what the fuck? Hey. I was just about to say it, but now I just realized you were a naughty boy. I did not realize that's what you did. No, hey. Naughty. Okay. All right. That's all right. Anyway, one thing I realized about you, though, you literally have like deer eyes. Your eyeballs are that of a deer. You just got like this dazed and confused, like deer in the headlights look about you, bro. What if that guy from the Arrow Knight was recently Venom? Dude, you might be fucking right, bro. I was going to go if that is actually the case. Well, here, a way to, I think, disprove that if he, and Venom were in the same room together. That might prove it all. But, yeah, you're right. We haven't seen Lee Man and Venom in the same chat together. You big bean. You fucking fat, lazy bastard, bro. Big goof. Alright. Go away. Get out of here. Fuck you. Had to knock shit over just because he had to follow me around. He could have been a dork and just chilled out. That would have been nice. Because if I knew you're going to be doing that shit and wandering off anyway, instead of following me, we made it all easier. That's good as a sucker. Well, I mean, hey, he's got, dude, I'm a Spurg, he might be a Spurg, but you know what? We were clever Spurgs at the end of the day. And sometimes he might out-clever me occasionally, which I will admit, I actually had to give him credit, a little bit earlier tonight. And I know you were in there, again, the hashtag we were there kind of thing, because I was saying, like, about this whole, like, paradox of, being tolerant of, or being tolerant of intolerance and shit. And he kind of, threw this at me. It's like, well, because my position is pretty much the same as this, but it kind of got me a little bit. I was like, well, I mean, the whole idea of tolerance is pretty much not really like some like moral standard, but should be seen as like kind of a social contract principle kind of thing. Whereas like you violate the basic, social tolerances, when it comes to, social contract, then, you forfeit your right of tolerance to yourself, basically kind of shit. I'm just like, that's kind of essentially what I'm saying, but never really like, I think, pushed it in that way, like, in the sense that he did. I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually use that from now on, because that's really a simplistic and very basic way to, explain it. Because honestly, like, if the broader social contract of like, let's say you're on the soapbox in like Pioneer Square in Portland or whatever, right? And you're spouting like some Andrew Tate style bullshit, and you got like most people coming up to you throwing tomatoes and saying, fuck you, you're retarded, boo, or whatever. And a few of them maybe even trying to like come up to you and shove you and shit, then, because of whatever intolerances you might be pushing and, trying to say and shit, a lot of them are going to say, no, fuck that shit. We ain't wanting that around here. Which at least, especially on the West Coast, that tends to be a little bit more often than not, because there are a lot of like right-wing fucking shitheads that do live around here. But, I mean, like extreme right too. But a lot of them also kind of know when to keep it on their private land versus not. They tend to keep it off of their private land and, out in the city and shit like that when they have like enough numbers. But if not, then they like kind of keep it, in their own little ways. Doc of the Super Mario Husky MC. Oh, wait, hold on. There ain't even no MC. I just imagined it. What? You didn't say no MC. Where's the MC, bro? What the fuck, bro? There's something I find hilarious about people who are just reflexively hypocritical, which tends to be most conservatives, man. On one hand, I kind of love them. I kind of love conservatives because they do this shit a lot, man. Like, they just have like such an easy to read hypocrisy about them. And a lot of it's because I've grown up Christian. I've grown up around right wingers. I mean, like my parents are kind of right wing in one way, shape, or form. Well, honestly, my mom is weirdly enough more like progressive left leaning back where I was in like 2016 or some shit. At this point, weirdly enough, outside of certain issues, like social issues, like on economics, like last time I was talking with her, like she's straight up for universal healthcare now. Like I was mentioning, it's like, different things and about like, our tandem relation about like healthcare. And she's like, yeah, I don't understand why this can't be a basic need. Everyone should have like universal healthcare and stuff. And I was like, yeah, why do you think I've been saying that since, I first got into politics back in like 2015 and shit, 16 and shit? Why do you think, I liked Bernie a lot, when he was, making that a main part of his platform back in 2016? As much as the Democratic Party today barely even makes a peep about it anymore. But, why do you think that was such a main thing? It still is a priority for me. And I think it's honestly one of my major fucking insulting things that the Dems or any progressive or lefties barely fucking say anything about anymore. It's like, I'm someone who gets directly impacted because of shit like this. And it's like, no motherfucker wants to, talk about universal healthcare anymore. It's like, give me a break. It's like, where is a genuine left in this country again? It's the online left bullshit where it's like they want to bitch and moan about how, you know, Dems are the same as Republicans, which sure, maybe there are certain issues where that is potentially the case on, you know, certain aspects of things. But that ain't the end all be all. And your online fucking weird echo chamber shit, you know, got no fucking dog and got no fucking room in the force and the hunt and shit when it comes to, you know, the fucking blue collar work. You know, when it comes to the union talk and shit. Because if you talk to those motherfuckers, people like me, you know, someone like me has a little foot in that fucking door with these online lefties and shit, and I hear what they have to say, and I don't fucking like it. Because I hear what these blue-collar people are saying a lot of times, and some of them, yeah, are probably kind of conservative. They're actually fucking, you know, talking the real talk. How can we get, like, you know, the power in the workers again? How can we get, you know, people to come together and actually, like, get on a big strike and shit? And it's not like that's impossible, because that shit is being worked on. The UAW and the Teamsters, O'Brien and Fain, you know, like Sean Fain and shit, like the both of them are fucking, you know, doing this on 2028, May Day, May 1st. It's not like it's a possibility. There's a fucking scheduled thing for it. And also during the electoral cycle in that year, which is a really big, impactful year, who gives a shit who's running the country at that point? And honestly, maybe in a way it does. But that is something, even in the long term, that, you know, kind of is looking past electoral politics. That's the point. And that is building up into something, you know, greater here. And the thing is, like, it's not like we can't make, you know, different fights and battles in between that shit, or vote or don't vote, like, whatever. But shit, the main focus, you know, should be about, like, devolving away from this, like, you know, from the same political FUBA bullshit. There should be more focus on, like, you know, attaining more of, like, different political avenues of political power. You know, that's why a lot of these unions have been really sprouting out lately. I've been seeing, especially more than ever, pro-union bumper stickers, fucking t-shirts and shit. Dude, more than ever, I don't know if it's just me, but I've been noticing around here a lot of people boasting union shit. Like, at least where I live, like, I'm one of the few small towns that is fucking union as fuck around here. And it's actually refreshing to see it in a way. It's like, you know, seeing people wear t-shirts that say Union Strong or whatever the fuck, or have a bumper sticker that says I'm proud to be in a union or whatever, you know, just shit like that. And I'm like, I have not seen this in years, if ever in my lifetime. It's like the only time I've ever seen that shit is looking for fucking, you know, documentaries or history books and shit. Now I'm starting to see this, like, culture, you know, being a thing now. I mean, it's like, that's some shit to be optimistic and proud of right there. And sometimes, and it's a slow burn, and you got to go for a lot of fucking drudgery to fucking achieve it. But, you know, it's like, that's the thing about, you know, about, like, you know, that worker solidarity and shit. And the whole idea of the red banner anyway, because it's the whole idea of, like, you know, achieving what, you know, like, worker power, it always comes at the end of, you know, bloodshed from workers, especially at the end of the day. Workers are the one who shed the most blood out of anybody, especially when it comes to the cog of being, you know, the fuel and the oil of the machine. Whether it comes to rising up to power, getting their fucking face stomped in by cops, or, you know, fucking scabs or Pinkertons, you know, especially back in them days, you know, or even today where, you know, work accidents, fucking, you know, Boeing, you know, where there's different work accidents and fucking skirt regulations and shit. Like, I mean, you know, the blood of worker is the one that gets spilt the most. That's why this whole blood red banner right here and shit, you know, is kind of what, you know, is, you know, the biggest symbol of all when it comes to, like, worker strikes and shit. It's why a lot of unions still adopt that shit. If not, they'll adopt some maybe Americana stuff, like this UAW, you know, thing. It's got a lot of blue, you know, for, like, the Americana red, white, and blue thing. You know, there's, like, a little white and blue, you know, kind of like right here. This kind of pretty much the same banner as this, at least it's the same symbol. See? It's just this one has the 13 colony stars, and it's blue. It's a little more Americana-like. That's why I like having both of them in the background, because same shit, but different, you know, slightly different meanings. What if you have voting your on Trump or Jack Horner in the Puts Boots Last Wish? I would take Jack Horner, bro. Because honestly, I mean, he gets his comeuppance. Dude, you know that at least Wolf Death himself will show up and be like, nah, bitch. Nah, see, you know, I'll take him. Because at least there's a guarantee what happens to him at the end of the day. he sees them as expendable, but I guess on the one hand, you kind of know what you're getting into, but at the same time, it's like, you know what to expect, so you know what to do to go against it. He has he has a very simplistic, very, singular mindset about how he does things. Just like most CEOs and corporations and these business fucks, right? They all have that one single mindset: capital, profit. Jack Horner cares about that shit. He's just the ultimate extreme of that in a more cartoonish manner. But he ain't no different from the rest of these real life fucks. They're just a lot more sophisticated about it. They're a lot more clever about how they do that. Jack Horner don't give a shit. So in a way, I prefer that. Because Jack actually knows how to run a business. That's straight too. But at the same time, a lot of them do too. Most of them don't. Trump sure shit don't. Elon Musk doesn't. There's plenty of them that don't. But like Sheldon Adelson, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos. There's plenty that, fit the bill. I guess when it comes to like, worker safety and shit, they sure shit don't. But neither is Jack Horner. He let them all, he let all of his little workers die, on his, little adventure, and shit. And it's like, come on. Killed his little, like, fucking grasshopper buddy. He's like, what have you done? That was evil. You're evil. Oh! It's like, you just figured it out. Yeet. Just yeeted his ass. Like, damn, dude. Ooh, some Bezos shit there, bro. That's straight up some Bezos shit. Love the way out of the movie. Oh, I know, dude. He went out, I'll admit. He went out pretty badass, like. I'll say that much. Don't forgive him. Don't forgive his ass, but, I'll at least say, hey, took it out partly like a tramp. At least the cricket was saved by the Phoenix. That is true. Saved by the Phoenix, but still. It's like, damn. For a minute there, I thought he just straight up, like, got legit, like, departicleized. I thought he got, like, deatomized there for a minute. Just like, yeet. Yeet, yeet. That's exactly what I thought would happen. His last words. What specifically? I know, yeah, he wanted to basically be like, I want to know what the definition of is. Alright. Like, he wanted to, like, Bill Clinton his way out of death, and it's like, nah, that ain't happening, motherfucker. You're going out, bitch. It's like, he literally tried to bargain. Like, do some lawyer bargain shit, bro. It's like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. But you know what? You tried. You gave it a shot. You tried to Clinton, all right. You kind of Clinton. You tried to do the Clinton Riz thing a little bit. I kind of see what you're doing. Failed, but I saw what you're doing. That's why I kind of like it. I don't know if that's the same reason, as you like it, but for me, that's kind of why. He almost like, he was trying to do like the kind of Clinton Riz, like, all right, kind of thing a little bit, see, yeah, but it just didn't work. Because he ain't got that Clinton Riz. He ain't got none of that Billy Wiz. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got none of that Slick Willy Riz. See, I'm like in that weird median age where I know Slick Willy memes because of Bill Clinton. Because people my age or even younger or slightly older do not know that. They do not know about the Slick Willy Clinton. They don't know about Slick Willy. Like, because some people, will say that and people are like, huh? They're like, Bill Clinton. And they'll be like, oh, then it'll click, but it's like, nah, for me, it don't got click because Slick Willy there. Like, was he swallowed by the ground or did a Magica beam vaporize him? I think it was a little bit of both. I think there was like a little beam, but he kind of like, kind of fell and got consumed into the ground a little bit. But, because of that, there was like a little beam of light and, fanfare bullshit, like, I think it was a little both. A little compañeros dos, kind of going on there. At least from what I remember. I mean, now, to be fair, I kind of, forgotten some. I haven't thought about the movie in a long time. So this is the first time I've thought about it a while because I've kind of forgotten some parts of it. But it's been a minute. I need to watch that movie again, to be honest. Because for a sequel, sequels are rarely ever, if not just as, or better than the original films. And honestly, now I'm thinking about it, I think the original Puss in Boots is kind of low. But the sequel, though, that shit right there, though. I don't know, man. Dude, that sequel was just as, if not way better than the fucking original Puss in Boots movie. Because I think they were trying to do a little cash grab because he was in Shrek 2 and blah, blah, blah. And became like a side character and that shit. But a lot of people liked him. So people wanted, and because he's a little furry, a little anthropomorphic kitty, everyone wanted a little cash grab with our little boy and shit, you know what I mean? Which I was a part of growing up. I'm not even gonna lie. Me and my family were a part of that. I'll admit, fucking arrest me, officer. Here you go. But, I mean, hey, it kind of worked. But now, like, after all these years when they made that second one, I don't know, like, they did some unique shit with that. Not only, like, artistically, but, like, in plot-wise with the villains. I don't know what, like, who were the writers, storyboard. I don't know who these motherfuckers were, but their names should really be known and, like, noted from, like, future directors and shit, when it comes to, like, building a team for a film or whatever. These names need to be noted because whoever was, like, the broader basis of, like, making that movie, they did a fucking really great damn good job. Even the actors, the voice actors shit did a pretty hella goddamn good job too. It was just all like a genuinely, like, good fucking movie. I mean, especially looking at the first film, it's just fucking phenomenal. Because the first one, honestly, I think kind of lacks a little bit. It's kind of cheesy in a lot of ways, or it just kind of gets, okay. But, I mean, there are a lot of points where I think it's still a good film. But, oh, dude, that second movie, though, is so fire. Who do you think's more tall and naked, Jack Horner or Donald Trump? Dude, no, don't make me think about that. No, I look over, that's first shit I look at. Fuck you, no. I'm in the Mushroom Kingdom. Don't tell me that. Don't ask me this question. No. Oh my God, the fear in my face, dude. Do you see it? No, I don't want to think about that. Oh, yes. Fuck you. No. No. Oh my God. Don't put me for this. Don't. Move the fuck on. No. Taking a sit, I swear to God, the next comment is enforcing this. No. I don't even know what, but just no. Well, your Bill Clinton comment about Jack made me picture him trying to sexually harass women, so I guess we're even. I wasn't even trying to do it for that reason. I was just trying to use that, like, kind of Bill Clinton, like, saxophone, suave bullshit. I was trying to say that, but okay, you're taking it there. You know what? Fine. I guess we're even now. Fuck you. I guess now we're even. I still didn't think about that, so I'm glad. I'm happy about that. But Jesus. Dude, I had to really fucking, like, put whatever will in my being that I have left when it comes to, traversing the Mushroom Kingdom right now, to prevent that from manifesting. You do not realize, like, the efforts I was doing, bro. Brother, you did not realize the efforts I went through there for a moment. That was a roller coaster in its own right. Holy shit, that song also was kind of carrying me through there for a minute. Oh my God. What the fuck? Whew. I'm kind of glad you have the iron mentality. This because, hey, I traversed the Mushroom Kingdom a few times. I know what I'm going through. I know how to deal with this. This, I know my Mother Earth. Okay, I take a part of the herb. I take a part of the fungi. I know what I'm doing. And, that's what I'm a part of. I embrace it. But shit, when motherfuckers out there want to try to throw some shit at me, I'm like, no, I have iron will. I go back to my Mother Earth. I go, it's just like I have iron shield. The shield of stone that will protect me. I go to fucking some Conan shit, bro. Got the fucking Viking blood and that Irish Celtic shaman blood in me, dude. Don't be fucking with me. God damn, I swear to God, it's every fucking time now. Alright, I gotta invest in a new piece, I swear to God. It's getting ridiculous. Ridiculous! I know it ain't the same this time because I literally cleared it out this morning. I gave it a little fresh, when it comes to agua. So just fucking bow! I'm on my rashes too. I can't be fucking sacrificing the tiny little atomic particles of smoke here. Nice. Fuck, do some Dragon Warrior shit whoa! Weirdly enough, I'm still kind of in that vibe because, dude, there was a lot of wall deaths. The creator last night, dude, shit, dude, they do this, I think, every show. Before they play Enemy of God, because the beginning riff to that song is just such a, such a fucking, it amps you up. They do this, a little intermission where it's there's servants of the righteous, go to either side, and they split the crowd up, and it's boom, 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 boom. It just has this beat, and then you just go on either side of shit, dude. And oh my God, dude, that shit. Part of me kind of wishes I took a little bit, and I was like a Viking berserker a little bit, do some Mushroom Kingdom shit with that, because fuck. Dude, that wall of that shit was gnarly. Straight gnarly. Because he was like, all right, on the count to 4. But he never says 4, when he does it. He says it in German. So it's Wir in German. But I think everyone gets it. It's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then just it just goes into it, and you're just all charging. Oh my God, dude, the wall of depths when it comes to metal, dude, it's I think weirdly enough the closest you get into just charging about because I have my leather jacket on. I kind of zipped it up a little. It goes all right, make sure my shit's stored. We're all Gucci. Holding my hat I'm literally holding my hat like this. I'm all right. Protecting my pants a little bit. Hold my hat. We're gonna do this. Oh, let's go, motherfuckers. And dude, because it gets pretty fucking fun and shit. Because even if you're in the immediate, wall of death kind of shit, and if it gets a little too intense after that, when it comes to the mosh pit, then they can use that opportunity because it's all congealed in the center. There's this wide open space on either end. So depending on where you are on either end, you can just pop your way out, on the side, and the mosh pit is just directly in the center before it eventually either becomes a circle pit or whatever the fuck. I mean, certain moshes have a theme depending on what's going on, and last night the theme was circle pits. Everybody was doing circle pits predominantly last night. There was a center of people just kind of hanging out in the middle a little bit, but then there was a circle pit in between all that shit. That was the theme last night. It was pretty fun, but if you couldn't keep up, or if your knee got fucked up, or whatever, then you would get pushed around a lot and probably falling over a lot. But It was just, dude, chaotic, but fucking amazing. You know, and despite everything, there's always like a mosh etiquette to it all. Because my friend Tyler, he got his knee fucked up, you know, at that show. And, you know, like I looked over and I see him literally with two other G's, you know, from that pit, you know, having him limp over to me. It's like, oh, yeah, it's my friend. Just bring me over there. And he's like, oh. And I just, two random strangers just helping him over. I'm just like, oh, shit. I was like, you okay? It's like, yeah, someone fell on my knee and it fucked it up, dude. You know, and I was like, oh, shit, well, just hang over here. You know, I'm going to be over here for right now, just on the edge of the pit until I want to go back in there. And that was during the, you know, creator set. Testament didn't even show up yet. It was during that time. And I was like, dude, Tyler, you got that you fucked. You got obviously the chaos of the pit, but you got fucked up already before Testament even showed up. It's like shit. Because a lot of my like shoulder and my back a little bit is fucked up because of Testament, but dude, I kind of held my ground because, I mean, I saw them live in Seattle. I was able to have a preemptive gauge of how, like, intense their shit could be. And I was like, all right, I already know. I know when to step out and step in, play my part, you know, kind of thing. But, dude, the wild thing is, like, Tyler usually, he's those big boys that, like, he will literally be like, you hit him and you bounce off him. Like, you know, he's one of those dudes. Like, he will just, like, boop, 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 and you just like bounce off him like you're a ping pong, you know, to like one of those little fucking ding, 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 you know, one of those things and shit. Like he's one of those motherfuckers. Like he's just like a big boy that a skinny boy like me will literally just ricochet right off. He's one of those dudes. At least on the like the smallest, you know, scale of such, but he's one of those guys. So for him to get fucked up in the pit, dude, those pits were intense. And honestly, I'm surprised I feathered myself out better than he did. And my friend Rip City fared out better than I did. I mean, he was in that fucking pit a lot of the, you know, times more than I was. I will look back and look at the pit and I'll see him in that circle pit and I'm just like, damn. I'm just like, shit, bro. Going way more hard than me. I'm legit afraid of freaking you out. I'm not going to watch it tonight. I'll put a pin on it and watch it later, but I mean, just give me a rundown what it is. You don't have to like legit freak me out. I'm just riding the wave. But I swear to God, if it's like some morbid shit like, you know, from earlier, then yeah. It's called Autopsy of Jane Doe. All right, my morbid curiosity is really into that, but considering the Mushroom Kingdom realm, not a good position for that. It's probably better if I had like a beer or two, just some weed, you know, with a friend or something. At worst. At best, probably just better to be sober and not eat food. Maybe eat food afterwards or before. Actually, definitely not afterwards, probably before. One of those things where it's like you want to kind of set up the... you know, like, you know, set yourself up for kind of pre-game, but not in the way I'm done. Probably for the best because the movie does involve reality warping horror. So, like, Eraserhead kind of shit? Because I've seen Eraserhead twice, and it's definitely on like some reality warping horror shit right there for sure. So it sounds like some kind of Eraserhead kind of shit. Keep forgetting to watch that movie. Dude, Eraserhead is a mindfuck. I mean, I think I might be able to have enough of a ability to watch it even in this state, but I definitely wouldn't want to do it alone. And also, I definitely would want to at least have food and just be like, all right, this is a little more comfortable thing. Just hanging out with a friend. But, yeah. I mean, I've already seen it twice before, you know, once alone, once with one of my friends, and, yeah. So, and me and my friend were smoking a little bit of weed and, you know, had a drink or two, you know, stuff, and it wasn't that big of a deal. It was definitely a mindfuck, you know, the second time through, just like the first time, but I mean, I think honestly, it's just because that movie's inherently meant to be a mindfuck. I don't really think there's meant to be like anything like inherent message one way or the other, outside of like this just kind of like meant to be, I guess, a commentary on like, someone who is really suffering from like some sort of a schizophrenia, basically. Because it really does stick in your head a lot. I mean, even for me now, I'm kind of, like thinking about the film, like kind of imagining a lot of the different shit about that film, and how it was like, made something with the weird like just scenery and the different things, that would happen throughout the film. It's just such a weird, legit mind fuck of a movie. I don't think. I mean, but maybe I don't know. Unless you like have some truth serum and said, "Yo, David Lynch," inject that into him, and like say, "Yo, David Lynch." What's the ultimate fucking like commentary about this movie, Eraserhead? Like, just give him the truth serum and just let him explain. I think that would be the only way to really truly know. And even then, it would probably be an incoherent rambling. But look, I love David Lynch, though. Oh man, I mean, I'm kind of a sucker for some Lynch. I like some Lynchian films. So, I mean, hey, I can't really, dog on him too hard because I am legit, kind of a big fan of that weird kind of like mindfuck thing that he likes to do a lot with his movies and a lot of his shows and shit. I kind of like that. It's kind of like, against the fray a little bit when it comes to doing that like weird mindfuck thing. He's locked himself in the laundry room. Really? Oh shit. Guess we're all caught up. Damn. I kind of Venom eventually was like, I'll switch over here, but partook in for like 10 seconds. Was there Rip in here over a little bit? Oh, I didn't even see this one. Maybe that's why. I guess because I didn't see this or whatever. What if Trump had a scandal where it turns out he has been on welfare for decades due to bone spurs? That would. Whoa, that. No. Dude, considering like all of his business bullshit and all over the years and decades, no. We would have well known about that by now. In fact, that probably would have been a scandal back in 2016. If that was the case, no. Unless I sure shit doubt it. What are you doing there, the butt? Yeah, I definitely want to give him a bath tomorrow, but I definitely need to give myself a bath for a night, though. Between like oversleeping a little bit from today and then like the show from last night and kayaking and stuff, I took a bath after kayaking, but then there was a show, and now I've been over smelling the schmitch, the stench and schwitz for the show too. I'm just like, fuck, got that going on. It's like fucking hell, dude. Ugh. I'm just like, man, I definitely need another one. I really need another one so bad, honestly. Not gonna lie. Still tripping. I sure shit am. This is a microdose anyway, so I mean, it's not like I'm going like, hardcore or whatever. Definitely well in control of it. You have an apple pie and a pumpkin pie before you. if you choose the apple pie, Japan will sink in the ocean. However, if you choose the pumpkin pie, every dog on Earth will be teleported to an alien planet and become the aliens' pets. Which you choose? Apple pie. I love pumpkin pie. The shit I see we were trying to do. Look, I love pumpkin pie. Apple pie's okay. I don't dislike it, but sorry, Japan. Sorry, Japan. You should have done like your imperial like mandate shit and actually were doing it right instead of having the weird bullshit politics and shit back in the day. Maybe you should have figured that shit out and had like, you know, Imperial Japan be somewhere else. But you know what? Guess what? Gone. Sorry. At least your legacy with anime and all this shit, you know, still lasts, right? So it's not like you're forgotten. But you know what? You're no more. Hey, sorry. I'm not shooting my dog. If I didn't have a dog, maybe I would have said sure. But you think I'm gonna fucking give up Zukov, man? You think I'm doing that? I'd die for him. No. He's my little furry son, dude. No. Could have chosen to not have a pie. Show I knew a country second ocean. No, yay! You never specified about that. You never said anything about that shit. Hold up. You never said there was a third option. Oh, dude, this goes back into that Duopoly shit. Oh my god, dude. Oh fuck. I played into the FUBA. Shit. I should have known. I should have known. I know it's too late. Japan's gone now. I know it's too late. Japan's just dead. It's gone. It's been a rip new on, ladies and gentlemen. Japan's gone, folks. It's gone. Oh my god, what the fuck? I'm sure the apple pie is worth every bite. Oh yeah, it was worth every savory, delicious, sweet bite. Oh yeah, 100%. It was worth every fucking delicious bite. Plus, the top of it had a little bit of that bacon on it. You know, about, you know, the last little 30 minutes, you know, of it being baked. Put a little bit of bacon on there. Do a quick little sizzle grizzle, you know, to make sure they at least kind of cook the bacon through real quick. And then the rest of the process, you just let it bake in there. With them greases and shit. Apple pie with a little bit of the banana. Speaking of fail food, you know what's good? You ever see the Snaps brand cookies? The thing. The ones in the back? The Snaps brand cookies? Snaps? That might be a regional thing for you. Because I've never heard of them. Did I say fail? I meant fall. I'm retarded. It did say fall. It's this. It literally was overlapping with it, and I honestly thought it said, okay, well, I'm retarded. But no, it was fall. It was fall. It's not the first time that's happened. You can't really blame on the Mushroom Kingdom for that one. That's happened before. So whatever, you know, oops. But yeah, either way though, I still haven't heard of it though. Snaps brand cookies? I've never heard of Snaps. Maybe I've just never seen it before, but it's not on my recollection. I'm trying to think, and yeah, I can't really think of anything. Discord. What, you got a message that shows one of them? Okay, here. Yeah, I'll take a quick little check, you know, and look at it real quick. Oh, okay. No, I have not seen that brand before, but I know this style packaging and pretty much what that is. I mean, there's different brands up here, but yeah, I kind of pretty much know exactly what they are. But no, I've never seen Snaps, at least, as that brand, but I've definitely seen, you know, shit pretty much equivocal to it. What would it be called? Like fucking, I think it was like Pepper Ridge, actually. I think Pepper Ridge Farms has, that type of shit. So that's, sometimes what I've gotten before. Because I know I've gotten those before in the past. I know for sure I've like snacked on that shit before, in the past. Not snaps, but pretty much the equivocal of that, of like Pepper Ridge or something. But for fall, they have limited edition flavors, like one's pumpkin, the other's apple cinnamon. Ooh. Yeah, Pepper Ridge pretty much just kind of the same shit. They have the same kind of stuff. Those kind of cookies are legit, dude. Yeah, they really are. Dude, they honestly are as fuck, bro. They're so good. So delicious. Ooh. Good burp. Got both flavors. Nice. I mean, if I have some snaps, up here, I'll try some of it, but I think that's a regional thing. It might be like more of a southern thing. Because really enough, I have heard about it from my mom, be like, oh yeah, the snap cookies and blah, blah. I've heard her talk about it in my family, in South, I've seen it down there, but up here, nope. So I think it just legitimately might be kind of more of a southern regional thing, maybe. I mean, I'm not too sure. I mean, obviously it's regional because it ain't up here. I've never seen that brand before unless it's like very selective and there's only a few places that carry it or something. But as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen it before outside of like, in the South or something. That's what I'm thinking, like initially I was like, snaps, huh? But now that I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that in the South before, and it kind of started clicking a little bit, but yeah, up here, no. And even then, my family never really go into sweets like that, and if they do, it's usually other shit like ice cream and stuff. And the ice cream they get is national brands, like they just kind of like Bluebell and a few other brands. But I also see that shit up here too, so like it's for what they get, it ain't really that much different from what I get. When it comes to ice cream and sweets, that they are privy to. So I don't know what like the local southern shit is, because they just get the national shit that everyone else knows about. It's like, God damn it. It's like, you're southerners here. Give me the local shit. The last time I was there, when I went to Brandenburger, dude, they had some craft brews down there, and there was a craft brewery from Wallahashi, that's like, near where they live, and they had like a little craft brewery down there, and I tried their honey cider. Or I think it was like a honey ale, actually. It wasn't a cider, it was a honey ale. And I asked, my folks, hey, do you know anything about the craft brews here? And they're like, I didn't even know there was one down here. I didn't even realize that was alcohol. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, well, my PDX, like, cider ale boro kind of came out of nowhere, but I'm kind of a connoisseur, so I was like, all right, I gotta try their, honey, ale over here. Because they had a really cool fucking can, and I was like, all right, I want to check it out, try it. And it was genuinely good quality. I think it was like I forgot the exact name of the brewing company, but like it was really good. I was actually genuinely kind of surprised by it. I was like, what? It was, man, next time I go back down there, I'm definitely going to have to grab some. Definitely grab some again because, dude, it was really, really good. Like, I mean, I know I don't think any of my friends will ever want to, like, go down to Texas. But if I could find a way to maybe, like, hit up the main brewery and be like, yo, it's okay if I, like, ordered a singular 6-pack or something as a personal shipment up here or something like that. Because, or something, if that's, a possibility, if they don't already have, like, an ability to where I could buy online. Because if not, then I'm legit gonna, like, maybe see if I can do that. Because maybe I can even ask a favor from one of my family members. They, because they got a little bit more of a higher up kind of thing about, like, some of their background. They're mostly retired now, but I kind of got a little Venezuela. They got fucking photos of Greg Abbott, for fuck's sake. I mean, like, so, I mean, the idea that they're gonna humble themselves, be like, we don't got sway in the state. It's like you were invited to the fucking mansion, okay? Granted, back in like 2018 or whatever the fuck, or 2017 or maybe when. How long has Greg Abbott been a governor of that state? I've just started realizing that he's been there for a long time. Oh my god, that state is shithole. Oh my god, that state's a shithole. Granted, I'll say this: like, they have not had contact with him, at least, in a long time. So that fun fantasy of like, oh, I could go to governor's mansion. I'm pretty sure that's like long past. But I mean, the fact that he even had like the barest minimal sway in that state to where you're in his radar to be invited there, it's like, come on. It's like, come on now. Like, yeah, you got no sway where you can kind of skirt some shit, maybe put a favor too. So come on. Hey, why didn't music stop? I've been paying attention to that shit. Why you stop? Hey, keep playing. Oh, the song that Instagram didn't like before the stream, got too spicy. That song. The one that's also stuck in my head, too. What, would you two fuck me with this one? Will you? Probably after the fact. But not now. See, YouTube's kind of a weird, friendly bitch. She'll be like, alright, I'll let you slide. But then, once you're done, she's like, alright, paddle time. But at least it ain't that hard. She ain't gonna fucking, like, destroy your essence, because, like, you play some music in the background. She just makes that inherent content be like, oh, there's blocks somewhere sometimes. At worst. And also, even then, there's literally a way to where you can trim it out or just mute it. Like, YouTube gives those options. So, even then, it wouldn't be a problem. Yay! Fuck you, Instagram! Wow! Okay, that was a little too perfect time with that one. Fuck it. The people out there are really angry about the old guy that makes milkshakes on TikTok. I also forgot there were people mad about that. Why are people angry about that? And also, like, because Venom is on the DFF Facebook fan group, he's also said, dude, people legit make detached fantasy bullshit of him being, like, divorced and also shit, literally being paid by the Russian government and all this other stuff, and he thinks he's going to be fired from DFF for being a paid Russian plant. Dude, there are some people that legit are just so fucking detached and parasocial and weird about shit, bro. It kind of freaks me out a little. I wonder what weird parasocial shit goes on with me sometimes, even with my niche-ass motherfucking ass. Because there's random people that'll come in here and be like that. And I'm like, do I know you? I've never seen your shit before. Who are you? It's like, oh my god, who are you? I want nothing to do with that. It's like, it's a nice old dude who makes milkshakes. What the fuck is it mad about? Vegans? I mean, even then, if vegans don't like it, it's not like there aren't, like, vegan alternatives, that, are available for that. I guarantee you there are. So even then, if that's the case, then you don't have to be mad about the original idea of a milkshake. There's vegan alternatives for that. Just use that instead. And I guarantee you, if you look on his channel, there's, like, vegan milkshakes that he's done before. I guarantee it. I guarantee you, if you look on his channel deep enough, there's at least, like, 2 or 3 or 4 vegan milkshakes that he's done before. So, this idea that... It's like, dude, there's just some fucking piece of shit out there that just can never be pleased. And they just use the internet as their outlet. They're just some motherfuckers like that, man. as an East motherfucker, you want to know honestly, like, who was that for me? Jimmy Whisper, bro. Dude, he always came in here, always like being like salty throughout the entire years I've done this shit. He was always kind of like this, unless I just confirmed his own biases in every shape of the way, shape of form, and every step. It's like straight up, dude. And funny enough, a lot of people don't know about him. Only the OGs know about this guy, Jimmy Whisperer. But dude, he was a special one because he would always, you know, just like, you know, be like this weird, like, oh, I'm holier than thou lefty, but at the same time do some weird, like, brown red shirt alliance bullshit where he would do like some borderline Nazi shit kind of thing. You know, where he would be pushing some like hyper social conservative shit, like, oh, Troons, you support the Troons and shit, which Troons is a 4chan dog whistle for, you know, trans people, you know, basically. Like, I'm sorry, I know this shit. I mean, because how far these right-wing freaks go about this shit. I'm like, wait, what does this mean? And because of this weird fuck, dude. Like, again, dude, there's a long thing about this guy. Because he would do shit for a while. Because I was on Twitch for the longest time, and then for a while doing shit on Instagram too for a minute. Like, you know, he was around for a while. But then once I started doing this shit again, he popped in for a while. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we disagreed sometimes here and there, at least initially, you know, when I was not as politically aware about shit, but because it's been a few years, I've developed a lot more, and he literally was no different than he was. Like, he just went into cockamamie crazy waka 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 mode, you know, it's like, with like weird anti-trans shit, with fucking weird social right racist shit, like, he was getting into some weird shit where even prior, I was like, was this really the underbelly about you, bro? I mean, I've unbanned him now, but he hasn't been back since I've last banned him, like, probably, what, like a little over a year ago now? I mean, it's been a while since he's been back, but if he wants to come back, I mean, hey, he'll be our little locale. I'll let him stick around as a locale. I'll say unless I fucking do it myself as a stallless, you know, strong arm, you know, iron fist, you know, unless I do it, you know, he's only getting timeout privileges if he decides to come back. Hey, I'm on the shorts algorithm. If he happens to, you know, pop in on this shit, I'll let him stick around. You know, but hey, at the end of the day, I think he get timed out as far as my heart's content, because he'll come back with 1,000 alts. He has done this. He has like at least like 8 or 9 alts that I know for a fact I've banned and it's still banned. And I guarantee he has like a dozen more. Guarantee it. So it's not like, you know, if he gets timed out, he's going to come back on an alt, you know? So whatever, you know? He's just one of these weird fucks, man. It's like, he's just one of those weirdos, bro. There's like something about the internet that's just broken fucking brains, dude. Like, and weirdly enough, I almost was kind of getting down that path a little bit, but at the being blue collar worker that I am, I think kind of broke me away from that, and just having like my, you know, friend group that I have, you know, kind of keep me, you know, also from, you know, to go to shows, you know, rafting, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm just like developed from that where I'm like, that's what I want to seek. And I want like other people, even online, to kind of like, hey, touch grass, because that is, there's a ways to do it, you know, kind of thing. You know, just have like a little friend group, even if you're all just like, you know, doing kind of a little repetitive thing, like just chilling at the bar, or maybe on a, like a weekly basis, you go to a hike or whatever. Like, hey, that's something. That's fucking something, you know? It's like, but holy shit, there's like this terminal online, like weird Discord social shit where it's like, it's completely detached, and I just legit do not get that. I could kind of get the social media aspect of that type of shit, and maybe, you know, developing certain connections, and, you know, maybe finding friends and stuff like that. But in between all that, there are some weird fucking terminally online motherfuckers in between all that shit that is generally kind of creepy. Not just on, like, you know, a content creator level, you know, honestly, because there's a role of that too. I mean, because, I mean, a lot of them, you know, have these, you know, Discord communities. They have their own little, like, you know, fandom communities and shit for their channels and all that stuff, right? Like, and the shit festers there. And it's like, I mean, and a lot of them don't, you know, kind of keep on the up and up, but some of them do. And when it does, it is, like when it does fester and become a big problem, it is really a big problem. Because this parasocial shit is so fucking freaky, dude. It really is. Because I see it as an observer, especially with like Deep Fat Fried with their, community, especially against Paul's ego. Like, that shit is so fucking weird to me. It's like, I could kind of get disagreeing with Paul, but because of how, like, abrasive and I guess like how blunt he is about certain shit, or maybe he has a character that he does or whatever, it's like people just take that so personally and think, oh, he's just a Republican, he just wants Trump, he wants this and that, he's just a fascist, and like they'll go off. It's like, who the fuck are you? It's like this, he don't even know you from like the dick in the sand, bro. It's like, yeah, you might know him as a public figure, but do you think he's gonna know your ass, bitch? It's like, come on. It's like, what the fuck is that? It's so weird to me, dude. There's a parasociality about shit like that where it just gets genuinely fucking creepy. I do go on walks every day, so that might help. Yeah, you go on your walks every day. Yeah, I know for you, that's your routine. For me, on a weekly basis, especially now that my weekends align with my friends a lot more, I try to go on hikes, go on rafting trips, do shit like that, At the minimum, maybe go play pool with my friends, all that shit, It's like, it's stuff like that. It's just having a basic social group and connecting with that and just talk with people, because there gets connections, and with that, like, even if you focus on one person in that broader group, that creates another branch to see other groups of people. You want to know why I'm in the Mushroom Kingdom? Because I was hanging out with Logan, with maybe hypothetical future coworker, is a cook at, the place I wanted to try to maybe get hired at. And he also is a Mushroom Kingdom dealer. So it's like, it's like two birds with one stone almost kind of shit. And I was just like, what the fuck? And he does bonfires every night mostly, if he can do it. Like every night at his place, which is literally a hop, skip, and a jump. Some Frogger status from where I live. He's around the corner from me. I was like, oh shit. So, it's almost kind of like a sense of like, hey, do this. Do this. It's like, it's like it's trying to point me at least to that as a part-time thing for sure. Because, dude, like, it's social connections. That's touching grass kind of shit. That's stuff that is, kind of gets you places, gets you more, connections, get you more places to do more of yourself a little bit. Live a little, touch grass, and also spread what you do know and learn. If you're a radical lefty guy online, then you have an opportunity to maybe see how that really works with people. If you realize maybe you're off base, then correct it. Ain't that hard. Just kind of get the zeitgeist of what people are feeling and actually, see what they fucking say about shit. Because more often than not, it really ain't far away from what you think. But you got to really, like, sell it to them to what they can understand it with. You can't just throw, like, crazy fucking, like, Trotskyite theory or some shit. You can't throw shit like that at them and expect them to get it. They're going to be turned off from shit like that. Just generally. Sorry, yeah, that's just truth. You have to be a little bit more common man-like with people about that. But take that knowledge and, and give that to people. Because honestly, if you could give them a really good example, especially if it's like some American, Americana kind of shit, like the Battle of Blair Mountain or like the Haymarket Affair or whatever, if you give them like kind of like Americana kind of shit to think about in tandem with that, they will connect with that. Whether they're lefty, conservative, or otherwise, they will be like, oh shit, really? That happened? It's like, yeah, it did. And it's not like it can't be achieved again, right? Probably gets, you're a secret Russian Nazi, or Paul Zigo, let me lick you between your toes. I know, dude. And I'm kind of between, because, look, Paul Zigo has generally kind of helped inspire, to understand the nuances of the labor movement, because he grew up genuinely around that, and helped me realize, like, I should look into this, because I was in a workplace where I was in a union, but I just thought, oh, that's just part of the job. You know, I never really thought much about it. I knew unions were good. I knew they were a good thing, you know, to be a part of a job. I just never really realized like the actual power that had at that time. But once that, you know, clicked, and because of Paul, I remember the exact stream too. It was, I think it was like a labor and solidarity stream that he did on ideology before it got canned and banned. But when he did that, he had a whole like 2 hours of, you know, going into why this should honestly matter, and kind of had a light moment of like, oh, you know, this is actually kind of like a power that people should be looking at. And this is even well before, like, you know, this whole labor movement in this country's been growing now, too. It's kind of like one of the, you know, early, you know, people to kind of have a click and be like, oh, this is what we need to do. He was just like one tiny person. But, you know, it took, you know, people like him, you know, at that time period to be like, oh, this is what we need to fucking do to push what they were doing and to get themselves out there. You know, he's just one small bean. I mean, but there were plenty of people, especially like, you know, like union reps, you know, like, you know, or union presidents even, or, you know, people in between and shit that, you know, were starting to make a click with them. You know, and me being a blue collar, you know, union member myself at that time, you know, clicked to me. I'm like, oh shit, look at the fucking power that we can have here. I mean, that was also during the fucking protests that were going on during COVID too, with the whole essential workers and shit. You know, funny enough, that whole essential workers movement that happened during COVID really sparked some shit too, because that was in tandem with all that. And then you got these protests that are going on, and then I started learning about the labor movement and how protests and strikes and even fucking straight riots and battles even, you know, played a role and shit like that. And it literally just, like 2020 was really like an explosive moment of like, oh shit, like this is some power we got. It was very hyper focused on one thing at that time, at least around here. But to see that power, you know, put in play, it was like, it's like shit. We got some shit that we can do. I just hate how in the fuck that it didn't really culminate into anything, you know, that's cemented. And that's also what got me more passionate in getting this fire fucking burning more. Because like Portland might have a fucking Republican mayor now, worse than Ted Wheeler. You know, and all these other motherfuckers, it's like, oof. It's like, man, Portland's getting worse somehow, not because of liberalism, but because of fucking conservatism. Oh my God. Man, that's why I'm a radical with this shit, you know? It's like, it's holy fuck. I mean, it's like, it's not like an impossible thing to sell to people. I mean, it's just like, but you gotta touch the fucking grass and actually understand the brass tacks of what people are fucking feeling and hurting and all this other shit. Whenever you mention Wheeler, I think of those monsters from Return of Oz. Dude, oh my God! Holy fucking shit, send me some of that shit on Discord right now, dude. I bet you if I send that to Rip, that one of those monsters would probably be relatable, dude. Because Ted Wheeler is a weaselly little shit, bro. He is a monster from oh my God. Yo. Got to. Please. What the fuck, dude? Because he is a little weaselly little... And the fact that I also saw him getting tear gas to shit by the fucking federal, like, you know, ICE agents and shit, the Fed marshals that fucking Trump sent in, and he got tear gas to shit. It's so weird. Let the progressive solidarity, you know, with his little rag around his face, and then some dude being like, see what we gotta deal with? Told you so. See what we gotta deal with? You happy now? You know, I saw that. Oh my God. Oh, I wish I could have just went back and been like, bitch. Because at the time, I didn't realize it was Ted, but oh, dude, we're just watching him, just like going, just coughing his fucking lungs out. Can't even see because of the tear gas. And I'm here with my gas mask, just watching this, just from my little eye holes, just like, yeah, that's what you get, bitch. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I get some long-term and, you know, brain damage and lung damage from that. Because I had to. If I had to, then that little liberal, little pussy, little nibby, yuppie fucking gets to too, bitch. I'm glad he decided to do that, honestly. I'm glad he decided to do like a token gesture where he can fucking damage his lungs. So it's the same tear gas that I had to deal with. So fuck them. It just ain't Ted. But Elvis is everywhere. Sense? Okay, cool. Here, I'm going to take a little pee-pee. Then, I guess after the song, because this is actually kind of a banging song, then I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, look at some Oh, what are you waiting jail for? You scratched me. You little stretch me. You little stretch me. Come on. Go on. Elvis is in everybody out there. Everybody's got Elvis in them. Everybody except one person, that is. Yeah, one person. The evil opposite of Elvis. The anti-Elvis. Anti-Elvis got no Elvis in him, let me tell you. Michael J. Fox has no Elvis in him. Yeah, and Elvis is in Joan Rivers, but he's trying to get out, man. He's trying to get out. Listen up, Joni, baby. Elvis is everywhere. Elvis is everything. Elvis is everybody. Elvis is still the king. Oh, man, what I want you to see. Inside of you and me. Ow. Man, there's a lot of unexplained phenomenon out there in the world. A lot of things people say, what the heck's going on? Let me tell ya. Who built the pyramid? Elvis. Who built Stonehenge? Elvis. Yeah, man, you see guys walking down the street pushing shopping carts. And you think they're talking to Allah? They're talking to themselves, man. No, they're talking to Elvis. 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 You know what's going on that Bermuda Triangle? Down the Bermuda Triangle. Elvis needs boats. Elvis needs boats. Elvis, 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 Elvis needs boats. Ah, the sailing Elvis. Captain Elvis. Commodore Elvis it is. Yeah, man. You know, people from outer space, they come up to me. They don't look like Dr. Spock. They don't look like Klingons, all that Star Trek job. They look like Elvis. Elvis. Everybody in outer space looks like Elvis, because Elvis is a perfect being. We're all moving in perfect peace and harmony towards Elvisness. Soon all will become Elvis. Everything, everywhere will be Elvis. Why do you think they call it evolution anyway? It's really Elvis-lution. Elvis-lution. Elvis is everywhere. Elvis is everything. Elvis is everybody. Elvis is still the king. Oh, man, what I want you to see. Why, you're knocking shit over? Really, bro? I guess it wouldn't be the first time you did that tonight. And I'm the one who's like trifecta faded over here, dog, and I'm not knocking shit over for shit, bro, and you're the one doing that. I'm actually kind of surprised that my dog has been knocking shit over more than me. I thought I was going to be doing that all night, to be fucking frank with you. I think I almost had it happen once while I was trying to, like, adjust shit. But, this dog right here, no, he's been knocking shit over more than me. I don't think you got that little Elvis groove in you. I think that's the problem. I do, because it's in my soul, but not you. Fucking weirdo little alien. He's like, his little ears are turned back. Oh, get over here. Come on. Come here. I got some meats for you. Come here. Oh, those ears perked up. They perked up real quick. Come here. Come on. Come on. Get over here. Give me some love. Yeah. Give me some love. Yeah. There you go. Oh, you always gotta fucking kick your feet around on that motion. Yeah. Little sleepy. Oh, he's just goofy little alien. You're just a little alien, bro. You're partially a deer. You're mostly a dog. But you also have a lot of cat in you, too. You're all sorts of things in one. Ma. He just doesn't even give a shit what I do with them. He doesn't give a shit what I do with them. He does look a little offended. He's like, he's giving me a look, but he's not gonna do anything about it. Yeah, I ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, you won't do shit, bro. He's just doing this. He's like, goofy little thing. Oof. Oof. Oh! Don't be crushing my nuts! What's wrong with you? Ow! That didn't feel good. You jerk. No, I have a bun pick TJ because he said dislikes bunt cakes. It sounds like butt cakes. Which, TJ, I thought you were an ass man. And aren't bunt cakes basically just giant donuts anyway? Yeah. Voodoo Donuts has the exact same thing called the Texas glazed donut. It's just basically a glazed donut, but it's just fucking cake size huge. It's a thickie. Hence Texas. You know, because it's like a big ass, but a glazed donut with a big hole in the center. And every, like, you know, basically like a good slice, you know, like if you were to cut like a cake, you get this beautiful, like, you know, cut slice of glazed donut, but it's just a thickie. That was the point. That was the whole point of Texas. And it's pretty much a bunk cake. But at least I like to call it the Texas. Just because of Voodoo Donuts. Which, by the way, low-key kind of fucked them because they're anti-union and they've been the union busting, so I don't go there anymore. But, I mean, for Portland aesthetic, I mean, I guess I'll kind of... but, you know, fuck them anyway. Until they're unionized, fuck them. I ain't going there anymore. Because they easily could do it. It's not like, you know, it's going to hurt them. In fact, actually, it would probably support them more. I'd go back. I'd give him money and tip him more. Well, actually, maybe not tip him more, but, well, no, I will. Yeah, actually, I will. But no. I don't even want to go there unless, like, someone else gives it to me. If it's, like, you know, free of charge for me to eat, I'll be like, all right. Because until they're unionized, I don't want my dollars going on that shit. It's a local thing. So at least at this point, you know, my boycott of that actually does kind of matter a little bit. But it's a tourist little place. And plus they got one in Denver, Colorado, too, by the way. You know, in Eugene, Oregon. And they got a few food carts around Portland, too, on top of this one low location. So it's not like they're hurting. But there is generally a little more of an influence that can come from that. If more people were aware of it, it probably wouldn't be more of the best interest to just say fucking unionize. They're a smaller company. They can, you know, maybe take a hit from it if people are aware of it, but not a lot of people are. There was like a short-term union effort about it for a while, and people kind of made a little hoopla about it, but this kind of, after, you know, it kind of died down a little bit, they just busted that shit. Fired most of the fucking workers, especially the ones who were advocating for it, and just replaced, you know, with new hirees and business as usual. I mean, that's pretty much what happened since, and nothing's come from it since, for the most part. Still a thing, but it's kind of been on the DL now because most of the main people doing that, you know, they got fucked off. But it's not like the fight's over, but hey. I mean, maybe they should actually listen to the fucking workers and the people around here. Because it would make them way more money in the long run. Like, the whole labor and union ideas and stuff is meant to be a win-win across the board for everybody. It's just like you can't, say the short-term wins for yourself is going to, at the expense of everyone else, being a long-term success, because it just isn't. I mean, that's why a boom-bust cycle exists in the capitalist market, because of shit like that. Because it is inherently, something, that is just unachievable. It's just like, it's just not, it's not successful. It's not a long-term means of being able to, like, have a fruitful, long-term society. Honestly, like, this whole, like, capital, like, boom bust cycle just is unattainable. All systems based around it, and it just doesn't work. Ultimately and fundamentally, especially the short-term, long-term, any term. I know you get baked daily. What's the last thing you baked? Yeah, well, obviously for the memes, my brain last night or earlier tonight or here pretty soon. But for actually baking shit, it's been a couple years since I full on baked things. I haven't baked shit in a minute, so it was probably just honestly bread, but no, it wasn't bread. It was muffins. Yeah, it was muffins. So I baked some muffins, and that was years ago, though. Baked the pumpkin bread. I'm gonna have to use my toaster oven for it, though, and I don't know if it'll be absolute. Well, yeah, it'll probably work. It'll probably be okay. I need to make muffins, dude. Well, yeah. Well, the last time, because I remember making, like, kind of, I wanted to make, like the snickerdoodle cookies, but there was kind of like a recipe that could be, made, for the same thing, but for muffins in a way. So it's like, well, let's just do the muffin version of that, and worked really well. At least a person did it. You'll be fine. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, if he did it, then yeah. I'm sure I'll be fine. I just need time, dude. Honestly, especially because baking is a science. Baking is not only just like a cooking shit. It's not just culinary art. It's a scientific art. Like, baking has very specific measurements in science that, go into play with that. You can't just, like, eyeball your shit and just, like, hope for the best. Like you're cooking up a pot of ramen or like a little jambalaya or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just do some shit like that. Like, you just gotta, like, you have to go mostly, to the exact specifications, and then after that, you can kind of play around for a little bit, but from the basic foundations of what you're making, you have to stick with it, no matter what. Like, and if you play around that shit, then an exact process or formula of making that shit in between everything, then it's fucked. Because, like, even what you get, if you just all mix it all at once, it ain't gonna work. You have to, like, make a certain process. There's a certain way of doing it. It's trial and error almost. But if you have the specific recipe right in front of you, then you can do it, right? But, like, it's just one of those things where you can't just play around with it. You have to be very specific with it. But honestly, the end result is really fantastic. At least if you get the basic foundation, principle down, then the rest of it is, you can play around with it a little bit and mostly seasoning based kind of shit, but you still have to be kind of careful with that because it could fuck around with it a little bit depending on what type of seasonings you're using. Using more physical type of seasonings, and it might be a little, might fuck with it a little more. If you're using just like, brown sugar or cinnamon, probably won't mess with it that much. In fact, if anything, it'll just enhance it. So it's trial and error at the end of the day. But you have to stay with the exact science, dude. It's science. It's chemistry and physics shit going down, dude. But at the same time, it's a culinary art. It's science, but art. It's where science and art just intermingle, dude. And I'm like one of those type of brains. Like when art and science just meld together, I'm just like, yes. I'm just like, yes. With scientific maths and artistry and the reality around us. blend into one. Yes. It just makes my brain tickle. I mean, granted, I'm still probably like on the decrescendo now at this point, but like, you know, still on my little Mushroom Kingdom realm, you know, exploration. And I definitely know I'm on the decrescendo now for sure, though. I was kind of peeking earlier, but definitely not. Definitely not anymore. But it's like, I mean, there's truth to that, though, because, like, I mean, especially being, like, you know, a musician, there's, like, music, you know, in the natural world and stuff, right? Like, you know, when it comes to songbirds. I mean, the name of, like, in the broader genes, you know, of that, like, songbirds, you know, like, you got, like, jays, you know, different, like, you know, chickadees, you know, all sorts of different little birds that, you know, I mean, it's not, like, inherently music, but, you know, to us, it kind of is. If you listen to it, because there's a tune, there's certain decibels where there are in key to what we understand as music. I mean, so in a weird way, it's like they are in key with this type of shit, but they just don't realize it because they just don't have the understanding that we do, obviously. It's like a little animal out in the world. You know, we're very complicated apes with brains way too big for our own good. But with that, though, you know, it comes with like a really cool realization about the, you know, about shit like that, right? When it comes to like, you know, the tandem of like science of like, you know, physics and like, you know, music and like the rhythm patterns of art, you know, and the mathematical like rhythms and shit, BPM, stuff like that. It's like a weird but cool, fun trifecta that all plays into the role of art, whether culinary, musically, or anything else in between, if you really truly think about it. We just, you know, it's, and some animals have like even a very bare minimal basic comprehension of this too, to an extent. Dolphins definitely do. I mean, you know, elephants do to a certain extent. Like I think African gray parrots, you know, do to a degree. Because they legitimately can't have like basic understanding of language, nowhere near to like, you know, a human sense, obviously, but at least like I think to like a toddler sense, like if the equivalent of like, you know, maybe a 4-year-old like toddler status kind of thing. And also it's like one of the few animals that actually has a sense of self-reflection, because there was one gray parrot, you know, that asked, "Why am I gray?" Recognize that it was a gray parrot. And it's like, and pretty much asked, "Why am I gray?" And it's like pretty much the closest animal outside of us that could kind of have this self-conscious like reflection of like, I'm this. Why am I this? It's the why am I question that pretty much all animals besides us, as far as we know, and maybe gray parrots and shit, you know, potentially can ponder that. That's a wild fucking thing too. Because also, weirdly, it's like if the only other animal that may be able to ponder that is an avian and we're primates, that's kind of fucking wild. Like, because there's a really major different, you know, like evolution shit going on there for billions of years, too, to an extent. It's like there's a lot of shit going on there. So the fact that, you know, despite that, there's a close, like, kind of sense of like the why am I question. Whether it's why am I here, why am I this, why am I expressing this way, why do I feel this, whatever that is, like we for sure could feel that. But if gray parrots are the only animal that could maybe feel that way, because at least there's one documented case of this, then that'd be fucking wild, dude. Especially considering the diverse evolution of that, right? Because we are totally different animals, totally different species, but nonetheless, very smart. And we're not the only animals like that. I kind of imagine, you know, what, you know, and think, yeah, maybe some of these other animals, you know, if given, you know, like enough time, might think this shit, or maybe we can study them long enough, you know, time frame to maybe they do think this shit sometimes. You know, but I mean, it's just like a very major, like, kind of consciousness, like, sentient, like, barrier, because we can only understand our own selves, and even then, there's, like, too much of our own selves we don't fucking understand. Like, I mean, honestly, I mean, there's absolute truth to that. Like, our own species is fucking way too complex for our own good. And to try to understand other species is already hard enough. Yeah, sometimes. You know, especially when it comes to their complexities. You don't want to Dakota. Okay. I might have already read that from earlier, but I just kind of realized I'm kind of going hella fucking deep philosophical here for a minute. And it started from, some bakery shit. It's like, oh yeah, you can bake some better stuff. And over here, I'm talking about like deep philosophy of consciousness. And I just started realizing that. Shit, dude. Damn. I went way too philosophically deep with that, didn't I? Just all for like, hey, you can bake some food, because of the science of it all, right? I'm just like over here like, consciousness. Damn. 4 deep, 6 me, dude. 4 deep, 6 me. My goodness gracious. Oh, little puppy doggo. Wrapped up in a little bowl. I can interrupt this ball too. We can bring him back over here. Get over here. Yeah, you. Come here. Come here. Come on. I'm gonna eat this if you don't come over here like right now, dude. This is like so appetizing. I'm about to go fucking like Decavonian ape on this shit, dude. I'm gonna give you to the count of German 5. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4. 4 and 5. Come on. Oh, you lazy. You know what? I'm throwing it at you. Oh, wait, I actually caught it. Holy shit. He was actually kind of amping up for a catch. Oh, shit. He was actually wanting that, but he just wanted to be a lazy bitch. He just wanted to catch it. He was amping up for a catch. Jesus. Though my Neanderthal ape in me is like, that's kind of tasty. Too bad I didn't get like a bunch of slices of that meat, actually. That eye around roast beef, actually. Oh, dude. The flavor of that. Oh. Oh, dude. Now I'm really regretting it right now. Fuck. Oh. I just had a moment of realization where I could have an epic dank sandwich. Fuck. Now, I'm not even going to spoil it, but I'm putting a pin on it. Because tomorrow, payday. Oh, lunch break. We're having a mukbang. We're actually, first time I think in a fat fucking minute, because there has been a few times where I've been such a stoner where I'll just eat food here. But I'd never do that. I usually wrap shit up before I want to eat food. Yeah, but you know what? I think for a lunch break, it might be a short lunch break where I'm eating a sandwich, bro. Because, dude, I'm putting a pin on an Ivor roast beef with a little bit of Havarti. Oh, yeah, like I said, oh, shit, never mind. I said I was going to fucking save it. I wasn't going to even spoil it. I'm just going to surprise you. All right, you already got teased. That's all you're getting. Roast beef and Havarti. Condiments and all that shit, you get to wait. You get to be spoiled a little bit later. You get to be edged. You get to be edged for the rest of it. Spoiled now, but edged for the rest. That's the way to do it, actually, sometimes. You gotta, you gotta spoil a little bit to edge for the rest of the time. Will there be chips? It's just for some random shit going on there. Okay, my dad's doing some weird shit, but he's doing something in the kitchen, which I'm going to want to occupy that here pretty soon, by the way. But speaking of food, this good thinking music, dude. Monte Vega and Sit and Shivas really is some like good music. They're punk as fuck, but I honestly, you want to know? Dude, my friend Logan has gotten too much into their music because in the group chat he's sending, Monte Vega now into the group chat. I'm just like, dude, what have I done? What have I done? He's gotten into their shit. It's like, fucking Christ. So I was hoping it would just be like some shit I could throw at people, but no, now he's doing it. It's like, fuck. Oh no, what have I done? I've unleashed. Dude, but Monte Vega and Shivas, dude, they really are. I mean, it's like some good shit. I mean, because he came from Jersey, but made a band out here in PNW and is doing shit here. So there's like a little East Coast Jersey punk blended in with the PNW punk a little bit here in the West Coast. Like, he's like a weird blend of the two. I love it. That's why I love him. It's great. But, yes, there will be chips. Is that like Sun Valley fucking, salsa flavored chips? I get that shit sometimes. The Sun chips. The best flavor of those chips. What's it? Yeah, it's called what? Yeah, Sun chips. Yeah, that golden salsa. Yeah, because I have an empty bag that I'm using as a garbage bag over here. But, but yeah, dude, absolutely. Because that shit is my favorite type of chip. Fuck a Dorito now. I used to be like a stoner bro Dorito on, when it comes to that type of shit, but nah. Dude, those Sun chips, the garden salsa, that's my chip now. That's my chip. My perma chip, bro. Fuck. Gotta deconstruct this last very longer blunt than from earlier. I had to deconstruct a blunt from the Instagram stream, but now I'm having to deconstruct this one. Well, actually, I've been rationing this shit really, really well. You know what? The Mushroom Kingdom, was actually necessary a little bit to help ration this shit. That's for sure. And I'm smart. I didn't even eat all of it. I only, had like the little baby one, the little baby stubby stem. And then I like ripped a tiny little part of the tall one and, had that before we started this. And perfect. That was actually like perfect. Like just, not too hardcore to where I'm just like, oh man, but just enough to where I'm like, yeah, perfect. Good shit. Honestly, good choice with it, tonight. Yeah, I'll grant Venom that, despite the Instagram shenanigans from like 3 hours ago, despite that bullshit, because we were going in some really good, conversations and shit there, for a minute. It's like, man, and him and I had to get a little too spicy with our radicalism, and mostly him, but it's like we just had to do that, and of course, Instagram wanted to be a bitch. Boom. Speaking of chips, dude, I don't think they're having Sweet Carolina Reaper Cheetos anymore. They're so fucking good. I guarantee you can find them online still. I bet there's like limited numbers online, and you might have to pay a little more than usual, but I guarantee you there's still some online. I never had them yet, so I bet if I were to look them up, I'm sure I could find some. I bet I am. I bet I could. Directly from the warehouse even? Like limited stock in the warehouse? Leftovers, from, before the very last shipments? I mean, there's got to be some. You just got to look. Just got to look a little bit. Maybe some worker, found like a box or two and brought them back to their home and then are now selling them on eBay. I mean, come on. Just give it some time. You got to look. You got to look for that shit. Spicy chili Doritos. Yeah, and they're really good. I don't really go for them too often because, I mean, I like other spicy chili garden salsa style chips, personally. I mean, I have my moment as a stoner bro with Doritos, but I also have those OG nacho style or, you know, those Cool Ranch styles. I think I'm starting to kind of be a little bit of a snob. I'm sorry, I think I might be a little bit of a snob when it comes to the chip. I won't even fuck with Lay's anymore. I won't even mess with that shit. I'm sorry, I won't even mess with that. Pringles? Yeah, I'll fucks with that a little bit here and there. Pizza flavor, the barbecue flavor Pringles. Pretty good, pretty good. But not the Doritos, nacho Doritos, Cool Ranch, you know, a few of their other flavors, you know, that spicy chili. Yeah, sure. But I think I'm slowly but surely becoming a snob. I bet in my old age I'm going to be a boomer and be like, oh, you zoomies and you fuck Doritos and that shit. I bet I'm going to be a fucking boomer about it, bro. I'm going to be a fucking schnab. I'm just going to schnub it and be like, ugh. These Cheetos taste exactly like, wait, these Cheetos? What do you mean these Doritos? Wait, what? If you had these spicy chili, which, yes, obviously, which are not really spicy. Well, of course they're not. They're savory. They're savory spicy. The spice is not spicy hot. It's spicy savory. If you overload yourself, it will be a little hot, but, you know, mixing that in with whatever you're eating, savory as fuck. These Cheetos, here's where you're missing me. These Cheetos taste exactly like them, except Carolina Reaper Cheeto. Oh, full circle. Okay. Now I feel like I'm retarded. Full circle shit. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I want them now. I guarantee you I'll find them online. Knowing my stoner bro ass, I'll find that shit. And honestly, I might make my new favorite Cheeto, because you want to know, honestly, like, at the end of the day, hot take, I don't like Cheetos really. If I eat too many of them, it upsets my tummy. Especially those hot, spicy ones. And I love spicy shit, but those spicy ones I don't know what it is, but it's something to spicy and seasoning, or something about how a Cheeto is made that just fucks me up a little bit. I could never really eat a lot of them. I could eat any chip, but those Cheetos of any flavor or any type, doesn't matter. I can't eat a lot of them. I can only, I have to, like, all right, now sip something. Eat something else. Eat more Cheeto. Like, it's, like, I have to sparse it out. Like, because if I just eat a bunch of them like they're just a chip, like any other chip, my gut gets fucked up from it. I don't know what it is. I think it's just like how the foundation of a Cheeto is made. I guarantee you something about that. It's because it has nothing to do with the fucking spicy shit about, like, the fiery hot Cheetos, the regular Cheetos, even the Cheeto Puffs. Because there's something about the basic formula of a Cheeto, whether a Cheeto Puff, regular Cheeto, don't matter. The seasoning, don't matter. It's the foundation of a Cheeto. There's something about that fucks with me. I don't like it. Because I love everything about a Cheeto, but I can't have a lot of it. That's what's fucked. I want to love the Cheeto, but I can't love the Cheeto because it fucks with my gut. I don't know why. No other chip does this but the Cheeto. Am I just not allowed to embrace the Cheeto? Is that the fault that I have to deal with? Is that my fate? I'm not allowed to accept and embrace and love the Cheeto? Was it something about the recipe? Because I remember growing up loving the fuck out of Cheetos. I would eat the fuck out of Cheetos growing up as a kid. There's something with the recipe, dude. This corporate capitalistic scum fucked with the recipe because, we need to cut costs. No. They did bullshit like that where it fucked with, you know, the way it tastes, and it fucked with me. Because I remember, I want to yearn for the Cheeto. It was in my childhood. It was good. It didn't fuck with me. But nowadays, every time I'm like, oh yeah, let me have a handful of Cheetos, you know, like multiple handfuls even. No, it just doesn't work. Legitimately, I'm not even lying, bro. Like, straight. Like, because I could literally have a whole family-sized bag of Doritos, whole family-sized bag of like Sun Chips, golden salsa flavor, the spiciest of chips, a family-sized bag. I'll be fine. In fact, I'll actually, probably be too full before I can even finish them because of my engorged fucking stoner brain, wanting to eat more. Like, because I'm such a skinny boy. I don't got enough space, to expand the volume of chip I want to indulge in. You know what I mean? It's like everything else, I could just, like a fucking hog. A Neanderthalic Devonian hog. But Cheetos? No. I don't know what it is. I can only have a few handfuls and then I'm like, I just don't feel good. I'm gonna honestly alright. We're doing it. I'm buying like Doritos, some Sun Chips, and a bag of Cheetos. We're gonna look at the ingredients list of each. And we're gonna see what specific ingredient is specific to Cheetos that is missing from all these other chips. We're gonna do it because I guarantee you whatever that ingredient is what is like ugh. And if anything, I guarantee you whatever that ingredient is in some other shit as well, and I just don't realize it. So if we learn this, if there's some shit like that, we might be onto something. Honestly, we might honestly be onto something. I low-key agree with you. I always hated the way the dust coated my fingers. I mean, I don't really mind that because, Doritos have the same thing. Like, eating enough, you have a handful of Doritos, you're going to have that same coating on your fucking hands just like Cheetos. And that's not even really the problem for me. But goddamn it, the school kids will get on it and handle such a shit and want to fuck custom shit. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. But Cheetos are the same way. Doritos, like all these different chips, including the these Sun Chips I love. Like these Sun Chip garden salsa chips. That's my legit new favorite chip. Like if I'm getting chips, that's usually what I'm getting. Like it's so good, but it does the same exact thing. It coats your fucking hands where it's like just like any other chip. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really think that's the problem. I just think it's how they make Cheetos. And because they're not exactly a traditional chip, I guarantee you there's something. Is it because it's corn? Do you think it might be that? Because most chips are potatoes. But, like, Cheetos are not potatoes. Did we actually fucking nail it without even having to really compare it? Is because I think it might be corn. I think it might be it because our Sun Chips are made from corn though. I got a bag right here. Like I said, it's a garbage bag. Let's look at the ingredients. Fuck, you're right. Yeah, literally. God damn it. Never mind. I'm a retard. Whole corn is the first thing, and then sunflower or canola oil. Okay. Whole wheat, brown rice flour, whole oat flour, sugar, tomato powder, salt, cheese, blah, 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 Romano cheese, blah, 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 blah. Whey protein concentrate, corn oil, spices, including jalapeno peppers, paprika extract, and lactic acid, and blah, blah, blah. So corn, wheat, and oats, predominantly. So actually, this isn't, the main thing is corn, but also it's with wheat and oats. Now, okay, you know what? All right, it's back on. We gotta fucking look at the Cheeto recipe ingredients. We gotta do that because, like, if it's a somewhat similar or maybe different, obviously that one's gonna be a little different because of the jalapeno pepper, paprika, blah blah blah. But dude, shit, bro. Okay, now I really gotta do it now. It's probably the dye or some shit. Oh, it might be the dye. Because you know what? Sun Chips don't use dyes. because there was no mention of dyes in this at all. Yeah, there's no dyes. It's all natural, like, yeah, because the chip itself is, the oat, wheat, corn base, thing. And then, it's just the seasonings. There's no dyes. You are on. It's the fucking dyes, maybe, dude. Oh, bro. What the fuck? Dude, you might be right. Okay, you know what? I'm going to brag. I'm going to buy like a little snap pack of Cheetos. And also, maybe I should buy a couple different snap packs. One that's regular, one that's spicy hot, and maybe some random other flavor I could find. And I want to order that California Reaper or Carolina Reaper fucking, Cheeto that you were mentioning. Oh, dude. All right, we got to compare this shit, bro. Legitimately, we need to compare this. Because there's something about those Cheetos, man. There's something about the Cheetos, bro. There's something about it. I don't know what. Because I want to yearn for the Cheeto. But, dude, they changed some shit to where it's different. Oh, can I find a recipe from back in, like, the 2000s? Can I find a Cheeto recipe from 2003 or some shit? Because if I can find, like, a basic, Cheetos recipe from, like, 2003 to 2006 or something like that, and compare it to now, that would really make my fucking day. That would absolutely make my day. Because if we could find that, that would be the ultimate comparison to really honestly make this question answered. There's no way red dye number, whatever, is going to sit well in the body. Yeah, well, any of these dyes. Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, a lot of the shit that I normally eat for snacks and stuff like that don't have those dyes. The closest that they ever do is maybe, like, like some sort of, like, like ice pop or some shit, that has, like, a flavor, that has a color to it, shit like that. Beyond that, like a Mio or like a Kool-Aid or like, a little popsicle or something, right? Like, something that has a flavor that, you want a color to represent that, kind of thing. Beyond that, the food that I eat don't got dyes in it. Do you think that might be it? Maybe because most of the food that I eat doesn't have dyes in its diet. Maybe my gut just doesn't respond to, dyes nowhere near as well because it just fucks with my gut now. That might be it. That actually might be it right there. That generally might be it right there, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it, that might be it. We ruled out the corn thing because of the sun chips. So now I'm thinking about it, it's the dyes. It has to be. If I find out Cheetos don't gotta dye, my mind's gonna be fucked, dude. But I guarantee you there has to be. For experiment, I'm gonna fuck my gut up a little bit just to find this out. We're gonna do it. Maybe not tomorrow, but at some point, I want to put an absolute pin on this because I want to find this out. I want to find this the fuck out. There has to be an answer to it, dude. Because I've always loved Cheetos, man. Cheetos are really good. I just can't handle them too much at once. That's the problem. I just want to handle them more. It's like, oh, boo. I mean, also, like, it's not just red dye, but it's also just, like, dye in general, dude. I can't imagine, like, a lot of these different dyes, are really that great. I mean, they can't be, horribly, negative, but, I mean, you think it's really doing something that good in the long term? I mean, if it happens once or twice and you happen to get, like, some dye on you, like, occasionally, like, I know with iodine, for example, like, that will dye your skin and shit. I've had that happen before in science classes where I get iodine on me and, it'll stain your skin. It'll be there until your skin cells eventually replace itself to the point it just wears off. But, I mean, it's just one of those things where, hey, it happens a little bit sometimes. But despite that, it's just like, I mean, it's one of those things where if you do that repeatedly over and over again, especially in your digestive tract, I don't really think it's gonna be doing that much good. Because I can imagine that would like coat your lining over time, and your lining needs to be what it is naturally. You don't need dye and other shit kind of like gunking things up on top of whatever other funk, is going on in your gut. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's already like funky shit going on down there. You don't need to fuck it up more. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where you definitely want to like, really kind of pay mind to a little bit. Like, your gut bacteria is like its own universe going on down there. Not just of your own stomach, but also the intestinal lining too. Like, I mean, all that shit matters. You want to, make sure your diet, kind of is in tandem with that. You want to listen to your gut a little bit. I just want to be, more mindful of that myself, because like sometimes I don't realize, especially in the mornings, how horrible like it could be occasionally. It's it's bad. It's really bad. Like, just put it mildly, I will literally like walk out and be like, like gagging my own gut bacteria out of my like life. I'd be like, what did I just bombard in there? I'm about to pit. I would like go to my window, be like, fuck. I'm about to puke. No, I'm not. But I gotta get whatever particles are in my lungs out. I'll just do that shit. It's like, man, now I don't know what I'm doing with my gut for that to be the case. How's it that bad? I don't even think I'm eating unhealthy either. I'm like, keeping chickens, eat veggies, here and there with onions and some garlic, especially and stuff. Like, celery and shit every now and then. Probably need to eat more of that, actually, by the way. But, it's like my potatoes occasionally when it comes to carbs. They'll probably want to eat more rice, broadly, when it comes to my carbs, but it's like, it's not like, my broader diet isn't unhealthy, but, also from my friend, I was saying, it's like, I want to stay away from fried foods, and considering the work that I like to, unfortunately, have to deal with, I'm surrounded by fried foods. So I get fucked, and I bet you that's probably what it is. I bet it's just like, a lot of my dad probably surrounds, with what I have to fucking work with in the food industry, and I bet that's what it is. I have to deal with canola oil and stuff like that, and fried goods and shit like that. So predominantly being kind of partly my diet, so not all of it, but a good chunk of it. And I guarantee that probably plays a role, and I'm just like, after all these years, I'm just like, I think that might be it, honestly. I need to get the fuck out. I need out. Just for my own dietary sake. I mean, Jesus Christ. Because, dude, there's like some fucking biological warfare that fucking happens with it's like some civil war, that happens with my body, dude. It's fucked. It's civil war with me, dude. It's fucked. Oh. Just thinking about it. Oh, Jesus Christ. PTSD, son. It's like facing Nam again. They're in the fucking trees, but instead, they're in the toilets. They're in the guts. They're in the colons, boy. Fuck, man. It's PTSD shit, bro. I tell you what, dude. I had too much warfare in the mornings sometimes. It even fucked me at work occasionally. It's like, I'm a little late because of that shit. I didn't even tell them. Like, hey, but store director don't get it yet. And she'd be like, excuse me, well, the flight. I'm just like, I called earlier that day. Sorry, you never heard about it. Mention something. But, all right, yeah, there definitely needs to be like I gotta fucking stop eating anything that has to do with like fried shit, honestly. If there's like a dietary like alternative that I definitely need to do, is just get the fuck away from anything that is like remotely fried at this point. Need to do that. Eat some more rice for sure. And then some beans, and some celery, maybe some chunk of peanut butter. You know, honestly, just kind of go back to almost some basics. Oh, you know what? Oh, I need to go back into the basics of what I was doing not that long ago. 2 sunny side ups, some ramen, some shredded chicken, baked in an oven, you know, like whole rotisserie, but shred them breasts up in that, you know, fucking chicken. You know, oh, dude, I need to go back to that shit, dude. That's what I need to go back to. Because, dude, honestly, you know, for a minute there, I was kind of feeling pretty healthy there for a minute. Because I'll get like some, you know, like a stick or two of celery. Maybe like, you know, a nice little basic stock of green onions. Cut the bitches up, shit. You know, stuff like, dude, honestly, for a minute there, you know, on a budget, I was doing pretty good. Why did I even fucking fall out of that? I need to get back into that groove, dude, because I was, like, living pretty nice. Even my gut was actually complimenting me for a minute. I had a moment there. But lately, especially, I'm just like, bleh. I think, honestly, maybe that's part of it, because, like, some of the, you know, gut bacteria that wants, you know, a lot of, you know, it wants a little bit of a hot tour, you know, when it comes to the gut bacteria, you know, a little bit, and it ain't getting a good hot tour yet. You know, it needs the good shit. I need a good spot. And put a little meme in there. But it needs the good shit again. Dude, because last night, I had a little breakfast, you know, after my concert at this place called Your Father's Place. Some scrambled egg, some bacon, and some hash browns and toast. And honestly, last night at least, well, not last night, but like this morning at least, bruh, probably the best turd I ever laid out in a long time. I will say that. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, not to be TMI, but it just was. Like, I mean, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, it's because of the lack of the fried shit. And maybe some dyes and stuff. Rice contains arsenic, so make sure to wash it. Well, if you buy like a basic bag of rice and stuff like that, you'll be fine. And I also work, you know, in a China kitchen that, you know, makes white rice, and then they use that to fry the rice as well for the fried rice. So I could just grab a bunch of white rice if I want to skip the procedure of making the white rice. I could just do that myself. So I already got that covered. I got that beyond covered. And honestly, even with if there's like an exception to the fried rule that I want to try to make, fried rice I think will be the only exception. Because I can just incorporate that into some other shit, and it'll be fine. Like, I mean, there won't be enough, like, friedness, you know, to really, like, you know, like, be, you know, a big problem. If anything, it actually might be relatively a better, healthier amount. At least, you know, when it comes to, you know, when I'm eating. That's for sure. Because, dude, if there's one thing, you know, that I really want to change about my health, it's, like, definitely, you know, like, some element of the dietary aspect. Just because of the gut thing. It's just the mornings, mainly. It's, like, it's, ugh. That's, like, the one thing I want to change around a little bit. If I can, you know, find, like, you know, a basic, slight little change, you know, I could do a little bit, you know, to fix that, then fucking hell. Because I'm sure I'm just, like, you need to kind of focus on, like, eating foods and stuff that I for sure definitely would like. You know, I just need to kind of focus on what those are and just, you know, get those more often and make them more of a daily staple. Because I know there are definitely things for sure. I just need to focus with it. Kind of pinpoint, you know, necessarily what that is. Including with you too, Pup. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you too. You slim little athletic little runny boy. Oh, you boy. You. Took your little head. Goofy little thing. He's such a goofy little pup. I mean, he doesn't really need it that bad, honestly. There's been a few times where he's been a little messed up when it comes to his diet, at least. But mostly just because he would gnaw on a bone way too hard, or like I would spoil him a little too hard in between his kibble and shit, and he will have a little bit of constipation or a little bit of lucidity, where it's like, just to have that little, just be, the imagination for yourself. There you go. But it's like, he's had a few times where it's like that, but luckily, especially these days, that has not happened in a long time, and I like to think that, it's just due to my doing. Even with, me spoiling him, I kind of figured out what he likes and what he doesn't like, and even then, with his diet and his gut bacteria and stuff like that, they can handle, some peas or some carrots and things like that. Like with fried rice and mix them with his kibble and shit like that. Because I do that to him a lot, but weirdly enough, I've done it so much to the point he's actually kind of like, There's been a few times he straight up turned his face away from shit like that before. So I haven't gotten to it in a long time, but I did lately, and he's just like eating the fuck out of it now. So I guess like if he has it too much, he's just like, give me like a week. I want to break from this. It's kind of like me, honestly. I mean, I'll kind of go for my phases of wanting, certain shit for a while, So I could kind of get it. Might have learned it from me, to be honest. This dog really takes up too much for me, honestly. Now I'm starting to realize it. This dog took up way too much of my personality. I'm pretty sure this dog, or all dogs, take up from our personalities way too much. And he's took up way too much of mine. I was hoping that when I got him, he would have the personality of other critters or other people, so I can kind of adapt to that. But nope. He adapted all to me instead. But yeah, damn it. Man, this past, like 40 minutes of food talk or some shit. But this talk of food is really making me hungry right now, to be honest. So let's go just keep jamming up to the music and let's make myself full and get myself some food. Yeah. Well, let's call it good for now. Might, pop on before I go to work. Maybe on lunch break. 1, 2. We'll see. Let's see what happens. But I'm gonna get myself some food. This food talk, for like the last 40-something minutes is really making me fucking hungry, and I just am desperately wanting food now. So peace, diva, all that shit, all that shenanigans. So anyway, good night, Lord.